Why, hello there, friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome to a very special, very different High Rollers on a Sunday. Ooh. I am your games master, Mark Sherlock Humes. You might also know me from, if you are from Critical Role land, you might know me as Maro or Betty in Thresher or Caliana in Mighty Nine. And I am the Dungeon Master here on High Rollers, and I'm joined by my friends this week as we have a little go at something called Daggerheart. Ooh, how exciting. I'm joined by, we've got Rhiannon Frost and Christopher Trottimus.
That's right.
Oh, exciting. On the other side, we have Tom Hazel and Katie Morrison, our regulars, but also I'm leaving her till last because she's not a usual high roller. She's our good friend, Bryony. Also known as Bryony on Twitch. What's your Twitch username?
Bryony K.
Bryony K.
Buntap.
Buntap. Bryony's a good friend of ours. She is kindly joining us because we are down. Kim, who is another regular member of High Rollers, Kim is away this week. And that is very much why we are checking out Daggerheart. Normally we would be doing our 5e campaign, Altheya the Dragon Empire, but it's very much focused on Kim's character Gruff at the moment, and she's not here. So we thought we would give this a go. Daggerheart is a system that I've been wanting to play here on High Rolls for a little while. A few of us have done a test game. This is a little bit of a last-minute decision, which is why, you know, we've sort of scrambled to do it, but we had the Sunday free, and I've been meaning to try this, and I think we've come up with a pretty cool little one-shot that we're going to be running here today. This is not sponsored. We have just decided to do this, but I am going to talk a little bit about Daggerheart because it's made by some good friends of mine and people that I think are very, very cool. If you don't know what Daggerheart is, it is a brand new fancy TTRPG from Darrington Press, and you may know the Critical Role as well. It has some very interesting mechanics. They are currently, Critical Role are doing a mini-series called The Age of Umbra, which is all set in Daggerheart and is a very different, darker vibe, worth checking out if you'd like to learn more. And there's a few different mechanic elements here. This game uses 2d12s instead of a d20, and it has a system called Hope and Fear, so you're going to hear a lot about, oh, I rolled that with hope, I rolled that with fear. We'll explain what all of that means during play. Way that hit points and armor works is a little bit differently. The way that the classes all work is a little bit differently. But this adventure is going to be set in our homebrew world of Altheya, which is where our regular campaign is set. So there might be some differences if you do know Daggerheart. Oh, we might call things a little bit different, or there might not be certain things. So just something to keep in mind. We're also going to be playing at level 3. Isn't that exciting? 3 whole levels of it, which means that the players get some more abilities, the enemies are a little bit stronger, and I just think it's going to show off the system a little bit better as well.
Nice.
That is, I think, pretty much it for the announcements and things like that in terms of what we're doing today. We do also want to point out we do have lots of brand new merch in our merch store. Woo!
Yes, we do.
Katie, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Go buy the merch.
What new merch is there? The new merch.
The new merch. There's a water bottle.
There's a water bottle.
Some bags and some new tank tops for the summer. So
body bags.
Please, not body bags, cross-body bags,
Cross-body
please.
bags.
Cross-body bags.
And some
them in
backpacks.
With a brand new D20 design designed by you, Katie.
Designed by me.
Yes.
Yes, enjoy, please.
Enjoy. It's
Don't
very
tell
lovely.
me that my design's terrible. I'll cry.
It's not terrible. It's lovely.
Great.
So, question.
yes.
Canonical one-shot, Altheya One-Shot?
Yes, this is a fully canonical Altheya One-Shot.
That's right.
It is taking place in the world. I'm not going to say specifically when in terms of relation to the main campaign, but it is canonical. Everybody's playing brand new characters, but it might feature some characters or some NPCs that have been hinted at or shown in the main campaign. But don't worry if you're not caught up on High Rollers. You don't need to know anything about it. We're going to explain everything as we go anyway. So we just hope that you enjoy it. This is High Rollers checking out Daggerheart. Kelscarris, heart of the Dragon Empire of Ilmera. Its first stones placed by dwarven architects and stonemasons at the founding of the empire, under the careful eye and tutelage of the Dragon Empress. As the empire itself has spread across the continent, so too has the city grown. New districts built up to represent the different provinces of the empire, each controlled by the various draconic hosts. Connecting these different districts are the Path of Ascension and the Coil. The Coil, a circular road that loops around the central district, the oldest part of the city and often called Wormheart. The Coil connects to every district and has many of its own shops and sites of interest. From the Coil, the Path of Ascension splits the city in half and joins the Empress Gate, the main entrance into the vast imperial city. Once the palace of the Empress, the Dominus Imperatrix, stood at the center of this great city in Wormheart. But 5 years ago, it was destroyed in an unexplained magical attack that took the life of the beloved mother of the Empire, the Dragon Empress herself. Now, a domed crater and a few scant surviving pieces of rubble are all that remain, left as a memorial to the tragedy. Above this quiet memorial floats the new Imperial Palace, its throne room empty, as an heir to the Empress is still to be decided. This tale, however, begins at a narrow building, crammed between a haberdashery and a cheesemonger on the streets of the Coil. The Crescent is a quiet, plain restaurant with a rooftop terrace that overlooks the busy street below. Today, the city is full of revelers, parades, and artistic displays dedicated to the deity Altheya in celebration of the Festival of Dreamsong. Flying over the city are chariots pulled by griffins and drakes, each flying banners and ribbons of green, yellow, and blue. Sat at his usual table in the Crescent is a man wearing a very fine black embroidered vest with polished silver buttons, a fine silver chain attached to a pocket watch, and a white linen shirt with rolled up sleeves. His dragonborn lineage evidenced from the scales on his forearms and the swishing scaled tail that is coiled around the finely made chair's leg. His yellow draconic eyes scanning over the copy of the Clarion newspaper. A well-dressed halfling man approaches the table. They're just arriving now, Mr. Toombs. Ah, excellent, Colin, thank you. Please have them sent up and make sure the staff know we're not to be disturbed. The first to arrive, Tom.
Hello.
Would you tell us what you're playing, who you're playing, and describe them for us?
Yes, mechanically within Daggerheart, I am known as Infernus, but within the world of Altheya, that is a tiefling or a tiefling. I am a wizard under the School of Knowledge subclass, and I suppose the character that sort of arrives onto the scene is a deep kind of vibrant purple-skinned tiefling with dark sort of blue hair that's sort of pulled back into a tiny little ponytail, and they are wearing very proper clothing, I suppose, with like a sort of a blazer and a collared shirt with a tiny little tie on it. Very much a professor, scholarly type, because I am literally a professor. And yeah, I'll walk into the scene, I suppose.
Yeah, you emerge from like a set of stairs. You had, to give you some context to why you're appearing here, you had been contacted, at the academia, or your current place of residence or work, wherever you happen to be working, by this little halfling who just introduced himself as Colin Montgomery. And he said he represented a rather influential, very wealthy individual who is looking for specialists to help resolve a very serious matter. And you've been brought here to the Crescent. It's a very upmarket restaurant, quite quiet. It's kind of left alone by the tourists. You notice coming in, the whole place is deserted. And the staff are very attentively, taking care of things, but you're led up to the rooftop where you see this humanoid dragonborn. So in the world of Altheya, dragonborns can either look like the traditional dragon people, or they can be humans with like horns and tails and scales and things like that. And he's a humanoid dragonborn. Very, very well dressed, and he's got like a coffee in a cup. There's like maybe a half-finished sandwich. You can see the paper with the crossword is half filled in, and he's sat at a table where there is space for 5 people to sit, and he's waiting.
So I'll walk in, very tall and deliberate with my movements. I'll adjust the tie, maybe do one of those anime push-ups on my my thin frame, very circular glasses. I think they're known as, correct me if I'm wrong, slot glasses.
Slutty little glasses.
Right, I say.
He does have his slutty little glasses.
Okay. Does the light perfectly hit them so it obscures his eyes?
Yes.
Across the eyes. And as I'm doing this, a tiny little mote of light floats up from behind me and really flickers around my eyes. It's very annoying. Because I have a tiny, harmless little elemental creature as part of being a wizard that I'm allowed to have, so I do.
So you start kind of making and as you kind of enter the scene, this man will actually get up from the table and he'll kind of look at you. Very quite a plain face. He has like short, shaved short on the side, black hair, and it's got a little bit of length on the top, just enough to kind of cover up his black dragon horns that kind of stick up a little bit. But very nondescript. This guy looks like almost like an office worker almost. But he'll very clean shaven, and he'll step up and he'll be like, Professor Kismet, isn't it?
I'll reach out a hand to shake it. Mr. Montgomery, I presume.
Mr. Montgomery is my assistant. My name is Malcolm Toombs.
Malcolm Toombs.
Yes.
Malcolm.
And the name does seem familiar to you. And it's when you notice that he has like a little insignia badge like on his buttons. You recognize it because you're a scholar, you're a man who reads a lot, and you recognize the symbol of the Toombs Printing Company, a very famous across the empire sort of chain of publishers and booksellers basically. And he's just like, please, would you have a seat? I'm just waiting for our other guests.
I must say, Mr. Toombs, I owe you quite a lot. The recent printings of your famous works, the kerning on those words was sublime.
I will have to pass that on to the publishers. They do fine, fine work. I'm glad that you appreciate our business, Mr. Professor.
Yeah, I will take a seat, and I suppose that sort of blazer sort of jacket thing would spread to the side, and you can see on one side a wand, on the other side quite a long, fine rapier. And I'll take a seat at the table and await the other people to arrive.
Excellent. It might be my fault for watching far too much Yu-Gi-Oh! Recently, but when you say blazer and a little tie, I just cannot not see that sort of outfit.
You're right.
Okay, good. Yeah, good. Okay, good. It's sort of in contrast to Kismet. Professor Kismet is the character's name, who's very proper. Rhiannon,
hello.
Would you describe your character in this?
Yes, just kind of wandering in, kind of like twiddling her fingers, looking around, very just like... Okay, very sheepishly. This elven figure sort of strides in with like arms that look almost too long for her body, fingers that are kind of like twiggy, willowy. She has those really long World of Warcrafty elf ears, and she has very loose wrapping just surrounding her whole body of like browns, greens, very dark earth tones. Like no shirts or clothes as such, just pure wraps of cloth just covering her whole body.
Quite a sight in a metropolitan city.
Yeah.
Really.
She's bare feet. She has long white hair, dark forest green emerald skin, but she has like a vitiligo, so she has sort of almost like mimicking like specks of sunlight coming through a forest canopy. She has the dark green and then the white specks just all around her body, and she has these really dark purple, almost kind of space-like eyes. You can't really see any detail. They're just these dark voids. Dark voidy orbs. And she's just kind of almost swaying like a tree, just kind of wandering in. Hello.
So the same gentleman as you take the seat, what's saying. Just before we get into that, Rianne, what class are you playing?
So my name is Silksis Thornweave. I am a wild-born elf, and I'm a brawler subclass martial artist. So
this is actually a play test class. So this is actually still being tested in Daggerheart, but we're trying it out for this. So this is brawler being sort of the unarmed fighter, and you've gone with a martial artist. So when we see these wraps, is it like underneath there's like scars and like
there's obvious bruising and scars on her, like her face, her arms. You can tell that she's been fighting. She has a very physical life. She's skinny, but she's got that kind of toned, ropey, muscular like feeling to her, like
taut muscle, like
yes, like a spring ready to strike at any time. Like she's
being an elf in Altheya. Are you a first generation elf? Like you came from the Feywild?
No, she's a second generation.
Okay, so
they are a second generation.
They are. So that you have this otherworldly appearance, right? Because you've inherited that from the planar race of the elves, which are the original elves who came over. But you were born here in Altheya, so you're a little bit more connected to this world than maybe your parents or your ancestors would be. But you have this very alien sort of look to you.
Yeah.
You sort of definitely stand out in this crowd. And Tombs will get up and will just sort of offer a hand, and he'll be like, Silkus, isn't it?
Yes, it is. A delight to meet you.
Delight to meet you as well. My name is Malcolm Tombs. Would you come and have a seat, please?
Oh, yes, thank you.
We're just waiting on some others.
Hello.
I think as you come over, I would definitely be the gentlemanly stand up, bow towards you and offer a hand.
Very polite.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance, Professor Kismet from the Academia.
Oh, a scholarly type, I see.
Yes, and I see a fighter.
Well, yes, I'm testing my strength.
Interesting.
Yes, I like to observe how others move in the fighting pits, you see. So I learn from them, but I also like to take part myself.
And is that why, forgive me, I see you've got your, forgive the parlance, you've got your dogs out?
Oh, you mean these? Well, yes, I suppose. Oh, the feet.
Yes.
Well, I'm very tactile. I like to feel my surroundings, getting to know them, I suppose, intimately, so I know the best exits, the best entrances, what's safe, what isn't, what's sharp, what's soft.
I see. It would be very interesting to fight alongside you.
Oh, and you with your wand.
A wand.
As this conversation is happening, I do want to move on to get everyone introduced. Bryony, would you describe what your character looks like coming up and entering this rooftop terrace?
A bunny. A big bunny whammon.
It's Bryony's final form.
So when we say you're a big bunny, so you are playing a wild heart in Altheya,
Yes.
but we're using the fawn rules from Daggerheart because they represented it really well. But what are we talking, like a human woman with bunny traits, or is this like an anthropomorphic bunny person?
Like a very anthropomorphic bunny. The only difference is I would like to have little fingies, but not human fingies, like just big fluffy,
chunky paws,
fluffy paw fingies.
Yeah.
Well, that's just adorable.
So a very sort of like mostly white bunny, but with these little like calico, black and brown, big brown ears, but little dapples sort of covering her. The dress is very sort of like light armor, but it's very woodlandy. Like it could be leather, it could be wood. It's hard to tell, and these sort of lots of trinkets, lots of, maybe a few leaves have fallen off, leaving a few crumbs and a few leaves in her wake as she walks in, and sort of just sniffing the air because she can smell the kitchens from where she is.
In fact, maybe there was, as you're coming up, you can smell sort of soft, freshly baked bread and sweets, fresh sort of like vegetable stews being made, and all this kind of stuff is being prepared down below. What is your character's name?
Hester.
And you are playing a wild heart in the world of Altheya. So these wild heart is like a catch-all for any sort of anthropomorphic or bunny trait people or animal trait people. What class are we?
So
Hester.
I am a Warden of Renewal. So
A druid.
a druid, yes.
Yes. And also, just because we should check, because this came up with Ree, so she, her for Hester.
Yeah.
But it's they, them for
They, them, yes.
Silksis.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming he, him for
Yes.
Kismet. Perfect. All right. So you make your way up, Hester, and this dragonborn man will sort of leave these two having their conversation, still kind of maybe discussing weapons and things like that. And he'll come up and be like, thank you so much for coming, Miss Hester, isn't it?
Hello. Not too late for lunch, I hope.
No, certainly. I've prepaid, so we'll have some food sent up shortly. But I'd like to conduct business first, if I may, and then we can eat as we're discussing.
Oh, okay.
If you're that hungry, I'm sure we can have something brought up sooner.
Or maybe just a little amuse-bouche to amuse my bouche.
He'll gesture over and he'll be like, "Colin, could we have maybe some breads and some nibbles, perhaps, for our guests?"
We
sent
do
up?"
love nibbles.
Please take a seat, and he'll gesture to the table where you see these two sort of in mid-conversation. As you go to take your seat, and maybe, Katie, you tell me, have you been here
I'm in
the
the
whole
room
time?
already.
I was going to say, I think that
I'm
makes sense.
already there.
Yeah, I think that
I've been
makes sense.
assessing the whole situation. I'm already there, but I'll decide to sort of step out of the shadows,
Sure.
and you'll see a relatively tall, slender woman with jet black hair that's sort of covering half of her face, very pale. She's wearing entirely black, like leather straps and like harnesses across her. She's got a dagger at her hip, and she's got a hood on her cape, which she has up, and she'll take that down and step forward. I guess I should probably join in.
I did wonder when you would make yourself known to us. And he'll nod his head.
I just like to see things develop.
Katerina, isn't it?
Correct.
We've not formally met, but I'm aware of your work in the Burnbright district, which is why I've sent for you. Please, come and take a seat. I can assure you there's nothing to worry about here.
Thank you very much. Hello.
Boring.
And she'll sit down and probably put her feet up on the table, take out her dagger, and just start, like, sort of picking at her
Cleaning
nails. But, like, looking at everyone while she's doing it, just, like, assessing everyone. She probably won't join in too much with the conversation. She'll be assessing.
Sure.
But she is a human, and she is a Nightwalker rogue.
We'll find out what that means.
Darkness.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So with that, you're sort of thing, a sort of platter of sort of like breads, maybe some olives, some, nibbly things are brought up by Colin Montgomery, who is this halfling, who I think is the one that, apart from Kismet, who you maybe got a letter and that's why you mistook Toombs for Mr. Montgomery, but the rest of you actually probably met this Colin Montgomery. He's the one who asked you to come here today. For Katerina, it's probably like something was like left at your safe house, with this ominous message of like, we would like to hire you for a job. And then finally, Malcolm will look around and just be like, excellent. And then he will say to Colin, like, Colin, would you bring up Zell, please? And he will go downstairs. And Zell, you are brought up. Can you describe yourself as you enter?
First of all, you hear him on the steps. Heavy footsteps, jingling of chainmail on every step. He's clearly adorned with heavy armor. He walks upstairs methodically, slowly, and you see an imposing, huge, hulking figure of an orc step in, wearing full armor, full chainmail with pauldrons, Geralt of Rivia with a head swap to an orc.
Okay.
But not long white hair. Instead, it's slick back, black, short hair.
And being an orc of Altheya, do you have any prominent of the scars? Because they have these, like, orcs in Altheya have these glowing scars that they inherit from their ancestors, basically.
There's a nice big one going from the top of his forehead across the eye.
Oh, classic.
And down underneath.
Yeah.
And that eye is shut.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there is like a golden light that glows to it, basically.
He just comes in with this level of confidence, of himself and his figure, and he just slowly scans everybody with his one good eye. He's got a huge battle axe on his back, and he's got Van Brace, the works.
This is like a warrior, a very clearly elite, trained, like mercenary or warrior of some kind, basically.
Yes. His armor's kept in good condition.
Yeah.
Well done. And he just holds a good posture as well.
Excellent. And you're playing the Guardian.
I am a stalwart
Guardian. I'm assuming he, him, and she, her as well for you guys.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Yes, indeed.
Excellent. So, Zell, you know Malcolm Toombs. You've been working with Toombs for maybe a couple of years. You've been sort of kept on the sort of periphery of his operation. You know more than most people. You know that he is a publisher and a bookseller. He's also more than that. But you don't know the full story yet. You've been sort of being tested. You've been working as a bodyguard, helping with like the odd job here and there. But this is your first time. You know you're being brought into something bigger than that now. You know that he's referred to other people as agents, and you haven't been referred to as that yet. This is kind of like you're sort of still in a sort of like testing period, basically. But Malcolm will say, excellent, everybody is here. Thank you so much for coming. I am looking to resolve a very sensitive matter here in Kelscarris. A matter that could put many innocent lives at risk. The people that I work with, we have recently learned that a dangerous criminal organization known as the Diadem has been hired to act as a handler for a transaction with a planar arms dealer known as the Lapidarian. We know very little about this arms dealer other than they've been connected to several powerful cults that have used dangerous artifacts and planar magic and creatures to attack settlements across the Empire. We do know that a deal is being arranged in the next few days. The Diadem has tasked a dwarf called Malachi Mythvane, a wealthy dwarven business owner, to handle this negotiation with the arms dealer on behalf of someone here in the city, but I don't know who. I'm afraid that I don't have the resources to investigate and handle this right now, but I think it's important. So, I would like to offer all of you, for gold or for assistance or favors or whatever it is you would like to ask in return, to take on this task. I would like you to locate this arms dealer, intercept whatever is being traded, and ideally learn who it was here in the city that's trying to buy whatever it is they're selling.
My guy just nods.
Zell just like nods. Sort of, you're on board.
He's half in the shadows. He's just like looming with like just hulking big forearms, just crossed arm, just standing over the table rather than sitting at it.
Sure.
Yeah, as the conversation, as he's describing more of the scene, I've got a hand of cards, and he's describing certain situations, and I'll sort of pick one out, flip it upside down, and trying to figure out what tools I might need for the mission at hand.
Well, you actually have to pick something for your class.
I do indeed.
Which you have to pick at the start of the session.
That's right, and
So-
it's a fun one. So I, as a wizard, I have a class feature, Strange Patterns. I choose a number between 1 and 12, or the numbers on a d12. When you roll that number on a duality die, which is any action, when I roll that number, so I just need to pick a number between 1 and 12, and anytime I roll that, I get a thing. I get to clear stress or gain hope.
Cool.
What number that is going to be 11.
I mean, it's as likely as any other number.
Yep. So anytime I roll 11, I gain.
Yes,
I gain
and a duality die refers to the hope and fear d12. So we roll 2d12 in this system. One represents hope, one represents fear. We add them together with our bonuses from our character sheet, and then that's the total number for the roll. And whichever one of those 2d12s rolls higher determines whether the roll is with hope, which is generally positive. You guys will get a hope token, which you can spend to do cool stuff, and it generally means that you get a little something good. If it's with fear, though, I get a fear token, which I'm going to represent with these little black gems, and that means I get to do cool stuff. And generally, my cool stuff is not good for you guys. It also generally might mean that there is also further consequences or complications to what you're trying to do, depending on the role. Perfect. So you have that. So maybe that's you shuffling through the cards and getting this pattern of what's going to happen in the future.
Tuning to the weave of magic and trying to get some small level of portent for what is to come.
Perfect. Well, you see that as you're doing that, and Zell is obviously just sort of folded arms, you're clearly already in. Malcolm, Mr. Toombs, is clearly looking sort of around the table, gauging how you guys are responding to this. So, like, what is Silksis? What do you think about this request that's been made?
Yeah, I think Silksis, on hearing about like about like locating arms dealers, about intercepting, about like learning who the buyers are, I think their eyes grow wide at the anticipation of observing and learning about criminal behaviours, like perhaps as a chance to sort of increase her repertoire. Her keeps saying their repertoire.
It's all right. It's hard to get into the habit of it, but as long as we make the effort, that's the main thing.
Yeah, increasing their repertoire. You know, in their skill set about like, you know, fighting, because she's used to just fighting, you know, like in combat situations or, you know.
But you're a pit fighter, right?
Yeah, and like also just watching like beasts and monsters, like learning that very primal sense of fighting, but not like the mind games that comes with investigation and criminal activity.
This is very intrigue. This is not just a straight up fight. This is probably going to be a bit more involved than that.
Yeah, so they sort of...
You're excited.
Yeah, so they look at Malcolm, big eyes, like big smile. Yeah, sounds fascinating.
Good. I'm glad. It will be... Your skills, I'm sure, will come in great use during this.
I hope so.
He'll sort of look around. What are we thinking over here?
Hester just has a mouthful and is just like, you got any leads?
The leads that we have, I can share what information we do have. Part of this will involve your own investigation, of course. I can tell you that Malachi Mythvane's estate here in Kelscarris is in the Vault Watch district, but it's nothing short of a fortress. Magical wards, 24/7 elite guard patrols. He doesn't admit visitors without prior approval and appointments, which are booked 3 months in advance. So striking at him in his home or trying to gain access to his home is unlikely. However, we do know that Malachi has many appointments and businesses and routinely visits places around the city. So we can point you in the direction of maybe where he's likely to be. How you proceed, I leave that to you. The main goal of this is to track down this arms dealer, find out where this deal is going to happen, find a way to infiltrate it, intercept whatever is being traded, and ideally, most importantly, learn the identification of the buyer. Until we know that, there is still a great threat to the city of Kelscarris, maybe to the Empire as a whole. That is all the information, unfortunately, I have. This is why I'd like to hire skilled individuals to look into this matter.
All right, sounds simple enough.
I'm glad you think so. I hope that it is.
You said gold and favors?
Yes, whatever is, we can make sure that an adequate payment is made. We know your usual fees, Miss Katerina.
It sounds interesting. Why not?
I think your skill set will be of great use to this team. Professor.
Yes?
I'm sure that this is not what you would normally expect from your scholarly duties, but is this something you are willing to help out? I do think that your skills and knowledge will be invaluable.
No, of course. You understand the limitations of the Second Circle. I am not of the Second Circle. So I am free to act as I please.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear that, Professor. Well, I won't take too much of your time. We know that this deal is happening within the next few days. I don't know when exactly, but I suggest that you move quickly. Colin will be able to, and he gestures to this very well-dressed sort of halfling butler, will be able to give you any information. I must make my leave. Food has been paid for if you would like to order anything you like from the restaurant. It's on the house while you discuss the task ahead. I should remind you that the authorities, the Worm Guard, the authorities here in the city, I can't take this to them. There is a good chance that this buyer, we know that they are very politically involved in the city, and should the Worm Guard be alerted to our investigation, it is very likely that they will learn of it and may pull the deal, they may reorganize it, may reschedule it. We would lose the opportunity that we have. So I must ask you to act under the law. This does mean if you're caught, if you're incarcerated, we never had this meeting. But I can assure you that the rewards and the responsibility to this city is worth it. Thank you. And he will get up, gives you a curt nod, and then he leaves. Pulls up his jacket, puts it back on, and walks out.
So who here declares themselves the leader? That's how these things normally go, isn't it?
Why must there be a leader?
I was ready for someone to try to take the mantle, is all.
Sounds like you're trying to do that.
No, of course not, no. I'm simply here to assist and help in any way possible. Under my direct tutelage, of course, this contract will be fulfilled, but no, I am no leader.
I vote either the big bugger or fisticuffs over there.
Fisticuffs, that's a good name.
I did not actually catch your name.
My name is Silksis Fawnweave.
Silksis Thornweave.
Fawnweave was my parents' name.
Ah, second generation?
I'm second generation, yes.
Very interesting. I must know more about this tale, but for now, we must consider our first and most direct course of action.
Lunch.
Does anyone have any...
Oh,
Lunch is tended to, clearly, but does anyone have any plans?
I mean, first lunch, yeah, but...
Then second lunch, obviously, but Zell?
Zell will look at you, through you,
Through.
and grab a chair whilst remaining stared at you, slowly sit down at the table.
Riker maneuvers it.
Riker maneuver.
Just flips it around.
And he does the following. Bloody hell.
Fuck's sake.
I should have known!
I am so nervous right now.
Oh,
It's so hard to keep that up. Hello, everyone.
oh
All right, I'm
here's me
Zell.
thinking that was going to be
Good to meet you.
Oh, great.
You are very different to how you were portraying yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it helps with the job, doesn't it? So,
I suppose.
I love rabbits. I don't know if that's a thing, if you're supposed to say that or anything, but
Oh, I don't mind, that's lovely.
I love rabbits so much. And yeah, it's great to meet you all. Looking forward to this job, and I hope we have a really good time together. I think we're going to bond really well, and yeah. I don't mind leading.
Tom, I'm right there with you, dude. I am so there with you.
So much whiplash here.
Yeah. I'm just going to let him talk for like 30
Don't
minutes.
worry about the eye. Bad guy at the previous job. Don't worry about it. Sorry if it's intimidating. I can wear an eye patch if you like.
Oh, no, I like it. It's like you're winking all the time.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Nice. So I could lead if you want.
Does Toombs and Mr. Montgomery know of this
Of what?
persona of yours?
Check this out, right? No.
That is most
Colin Montgomery, the halfling butler, is literally stood like at the stairs down into the restaurant.
Colin knows.
Yeah, he's like, I know his mum.
Okay.
He does.
Okay.
Let me guess, you went to school together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got him involved.
Stop it, Colin.
Come on, Zal.
All right. Anyway, yeah. So
Okay.
So we got to find this bugger Malachi then.
Malachi. Mythvane, yes.
Mythvane works with the diadem. Is that right?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yes, yeah. He's. We believe him to be not the highest ranking members. The highest ranking members of the Diadem are secret. We don't know their identities are codenamed. But we believe Malachi is quite senior in the business, and also provides a lot of funding. He's a very, very wealthy trader. He runs the. He's a shareholder in the Illuminous Trading Company, which is quite a profitable business across the empire. Very, very wealthy man.
Oh yeah, been to many of their events.
The level of Somerset in this room right now is.
I had to match it.
I know.
After doing Malcolm Toombs for
I
the.
love your accent, by the way. Where are you from?
Thank you.
You from Kelscarris or?
Do you remember?
I'm from Mossborough, actually, just outside. It's quite nice being in the
Always
city.
wanted to go.
Yeah.
Never get out of the city, me.
Beautiful this time of year,
I
it is.
bet it is. Bet it is.
Would Katerina know of this diadem?
Do you know what? That sounds like our first roll.
Roll time.
So I think this is going to be a knowledge roll for Katerina, but I would say you have the Slyborn community that you're
Yes.
from. So you know the criminal underworld. You are from the criminal underworld of Kelscarris, and the Diadem is a criminal organization. So I'm going to give you, I think it means that you get to add with advantage, right?
So like the D6.
So you add a D6 to the
D6
total roll.
to my
So yes.
Okay.
So 2d12
How does
plus
rolling
knowledge.
work?
I've explained it once on this video already.
Yes.
No.
I'm rolling 2d12.
Plus your knowledge.
You'll never guess. I rolled an
Match.
18 plus a 2 on that. So I'm rolled on higher on fear.
Okay.
So 18, 19, 20 total.
I believe I should have had some fear to start the game, by the way. I'm just going to give myself
One per character or something.
yeah, I'm just going to give myself 4 for now. So you roll with fear, so I gain a fear. So you're going to get the answer. You succeeded. 20 is amazing. But you roll with fear, so there's a complication to it.
Poop.
So what was your question, remind me?
If I know of the diadem as
Know of the diadem.
as a criminal
You
organization.
do very much know about the diadem. The problem is you and the diadem not. This is going to be the complication. You are on their hit list. You have muscled in on a lot of their turf. They are so the diadem is like a very wealthy, like organized crime. It's like very rich mafia. So they don't do things like, they do high-end crimes. They do a lot of like racketeering, drug trafficking, they deal in arms, and all of that kind of illegal stuff. Not your kind of like violent on the street thugs, but they have control of a lot of criminal gangs as well. So a lot of the more violent gangs kind of work for the diadem. You happen to know, why don't you come up with a name? You actually know a contact who knows more about the diadem, but you're not sure how.
It's Colin.
It's there might be complications if you go and speak to them, basically. But they'll be able to tell you more. But I can certainly tell you some stuff now.
Talia.
Talia, perfect. So Talia is kind of like a street informer.
So it's the name of my pen pal. Just like, is she?
So you could go to Talia, who might know more specifically about this Malachi, maybe about his movements, like where he goes and stuff like that. But your connection with the diadem is pretty ropey, and she might, it might take some convincing for her to help you, because if she helps you, then that's going to put her on the diadem's watch list as well.
Okay.
But yeah, you and the diadem are not on good terms, but you know a little bit about their operation. You know that, the upper members are coded and kept secret. The lower ranks generally sort of handle a lot of things. They deal in all sorts of bad stuff.
Okay.
But they tend to be more wealthy, so they tend to be in like upmarket business. So rich jewelry stores, rich restaurants and things like that. Stuff like that.
Not really friends with the diadem. We'll put it that way.
You have previous run-ins with them?
Unfortunately.
Well,
Yeah.
they sound bad anyway, don't they? So,
Oh, I mean, yeah, they're terrible.
yeah.
But I can probably see if I can talk to someone. Might take some convincing. Unfortunately, maybe some money, but
Money?
potentially get it sorted.
All right.
That would be a very good starting point.
Yep.
We should look at the richer establishments in town.
I say we go straight to that vault district and we just go straight to the source. I didn't even see you earlier, and I've got these great big ears. I couldn't hear you or nothing, so I say we just go straight in, you sneak in, get it done.
It's a fortress.
Well,
And
yeah,
they might
but-
want to kill me on sight, so.
Oh, I bet you could just sneak round them, get in there.
And
could
you all
certainly-
stand outside and do what?
Oh, I have my ways of helping you get inside the building if needed.
And
Well,
I
to
take
know-
more of the share because I would be doing all of the work, correct?
Like I said, I would be joining you alongside everyone else. I can
At
help
the
everyone
wall.
get into the building.
Okay.
I would like to assist, and I feel like your skills would be good to observe.
You can observe if you can see. If you can find me, then sure, observe away.
Very
But
true.
I love the confidence.
what I will say is we should not go anywhere near that.
I kind of
that
agree.
That's a silly idea.
Yeah.
So we approach
Oh.
this contact of yours?
Yes, potentially. Unless anyone else has a contact that they can.
Or other ideas. I will say that so the Vault Watch district is the Gold Dragon Province district. So each of the dragon hosts of the Empire, the provinces that are ruled over by the different types of dragon in Altheya, have a district here in Kelscarris. And if you imagine that the city has kind of got the central district, Wormheart in the middle, then it has like a street, the Path of Ascension that runs all the way through the city. The Coil is like a ring road that goes around the heart. All of the other districts are like wedges around the city, basically. So they're all kind of connected via the ring and the Path of Ascension. So each of the different provinces is very culturally kind of like tied to the district they're from. You know, like when you go to like Little Italy or like Chinatown and stuff like that, there's a lot of cultural elements like of that city in that area. It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
So
Each district in the Undercity.
not quite. Yes.
Can I roll
Yes. What are you trying to do?
for a colour of my past?
Okay, well, where you're from?
Yes.
I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
roll a d8.
D8.
Yeah. If it's an 8.
Oh, it is an 8.
Oh, well. That's the you maybe you're so is this like where you're specifically from?
It's where I got my job.
You got your job. Okay. Well, in that case, then for an 8, maybe it was actually like on the more neutral areas like the Path of Ascension, the Coil, or the Central District. So maybe you were working for somebody who is neutral, so not connected to necessarily a specific dragon noble, but like an authoritator or an administrator. Maybe you were part of the central division of the Worm Guard, so that's like the kind of neutral cops, of the city. Each of the different districts have their own division of the Worm Guard, who handles everything within that territory, basically. And there's a lot of like fighting over like, oh well, our guy was killed, like he was killed in your district, but he's from ours.
Okay.
That kind of stuff.
Can I also ask in which district the academia is in?
Central District.
Central District,
Yeah,
okay.
it's neutral.
I think I've seen you around.
Have you?
Yeah, I think so. Well, no offence, but a lot of you wear the same robe. But I think I've seen you.
I do a lot of
It's the
nighttime
little glasses.
walks. It's the glasses.
Yeah.
They're dead giveaway.
Yeah, they like glint just perfectly sometimes, and I'm
I
like,
know,
well, where's
yes.
his eyes go? And
I had them
crazy,
specifically made to do so. I thought they looked
magical.
pretty cool.
Either way, I kind of know about this sort of stuff a little bit. Used to be bodyguard for bureaucrats and a bit of the Worm Guard and all that. And yeah, so I've been in the kind of the central area, and that stuff is like high profile, especially the Vault Watch, lockdown. Crazy stuff. They got way higher paid bodyguards and stuff, way better than me. Got that place on lockdown. So although you look really stealthy and all that, they're really good at finding people that are super stealthy too, and they got like magical traps and all that.
We should mention as well, Mr. Toombs did say that.
Go on, Colin!
He's we believe that Malachi's estate is enchanted. He's paid for magical wards and detection spells and all that. Like he can't have just anybody sneaking in there.
Which
with a
I'm sure
invisibility
you
spell
could,
or whatever.
Dispel or whatever.
It's certainly possible. Aye, it's
but it'll
certainly
be
possible.
tough. It'll be tough, wouldn't it, Colin?
It certainly would be. Aye, yes.
Yes.
What we
No,
need
of
to
course.
do is get a hold of his appointment book. Find out where he's going to be around the city outside of that fortress that we don't want to go near.
Love it. Love
Did
it.
say
well-
he had a lot of businesses, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. We know that Mr. Mythvane, he travels via private carriage around the city. It's very well made, very well protected. And he generally travels with a clerk. And, well, if you forgive me for saying, he often has the companionship of a lady friend in tow as well. But those, and then he has his guards. So he travels with a couple of very well-trained elite guards. Normally he also has a mercenary, a spellblade, somebody who uses magic and sword.
He's got big bucks, hasn't he?
He's very, very wealthy, Mr. Mythvane. I mean, he's a dwarf, but if his earth skin is mithril, so he's very highly respected amongst his peers and other dwarves. And he's used that, he's had very fortunate, and we believe that the diadem has been involved, where he's been very lucky in his mining operations, striking rich veins of gold and silver and things like that, which have only inflated his businesses. We believe him to be quite a bad fellow, basically.
Oh no.
Bunch of trash, the lot of them. That's all I've got to say about
You
it.
said you used to be a
Hello.
bodyguard. Hello.
Yeah.
Am I doing it right? Hello.
Yeah, you are.
Okay.
You never done hello.
Oh, I watch. I'm an observer of interactions and conversation rather than a participant.
Oh, that's all right. No
Okay.
worries. On the outskirts, I like it.
Well, you said yourself you used to be a bodyguard, say.
Yeah.
Is there a way maybe you could ask for work from Mr. Malachi?
Oh,
That
Maybe
would
get
take
your way inside.
quite a bit of acting again.
I can switch it on. But at the same time, I probably shouldn't, because I'm kind of well known in the Central District, and
Yes, on that, do you perhaps know any of his usual bodyguards?
Oh, good point. Let's have a little think.
Yeah, so I think that this is going to be a roll here. Let's try and have a look here. This is definitely going to be a knowledge, so recall. Yeah, so it's going to be a knowledge roll here. But you are also, what community are you from?
I am from Lawbourne.
What does that? What effect does that give you?
Well read. You have advantage on
thought you were
rolls
just
that
gonna
involve
stop.
the history, culture, or politics of a prominent personal place. So the Central
Politics of a prominent place or a
pick up
person?
things from-
He sounds.
You pick up the prominent politics of this place.
Indeed, all the P's.
And you get advantage on that.
It doesn't. Oh yes, I do. Yes.
So you add a d6 to the roll.
Brilliant. I'll do that. A 1. 13 total
With
with fear.
fear. Marvelous. 13. That's enough for a success. So, and you want to know if you know any of his regular bodyguards?
Do you have any experiences as well that might tie to
I
this?
do. Bodyguard
Well, yeah, maybe.
or Dragon's Court.
That would certainly apply, but you'd have to spend a hope to activate your experiences.
I'm not going to do that right now.
No, but it's good to keep in mind. Always keep in mind, you've got these experiences, you spend hope to use them, right? Thank you, Tom, for remembering the mechanics of the game.
How do experiences work, Mark?
Well, we just said they're experiences. So when you create a character, you get to come up with sort of unique identifiers for your character. They could be a description of a cool, skill or a profession. They could be a talent that you have, or they can be things like quotes. Like Tom, what are your experiences?
I have, so I've got 3 experiences, some that have been boosted from my leveling up, but my first one is simply the phrase, "You're out of your depth." So I am hoping to use that in situations where someone is doing something that's generally out of character for them. Like, for example, if Ree's character was trying to charm someone or eloquent conversation, then I would be able to assist in some way to.
But you could, if
guide
you can find any way to justify that phrase,
Yes.
you can apply that experience, right?
And I've got 2 others as well that will come up eventually.
we'll come
Secrets, eh?
But yeah, I'd say with that 13, so I don't think
Thinking.
I think you don't know a specific bodyguard. I think that you succeeded, but I think with that complication, rather than knowing a specific bodyguard, you would probably know like you would know a tavern where a lot of the freelance like merc bodyguards go to hang out, and if you go there you can probably find out more information about what Malachi, like where he goes and like the kind of guards he works with if you went there, but I don't think you know a specific bodyguard there, but you do know where you could go to find more information.
No.
No, not at all.
A little bit. Like I know the area. There's a good tavern where...
What's the name of the tavern?
It's called the Brazen Eagle.
Brazen Eagle.
Yes, I've heard of the place.
Eagle.
Does it have a fighting pit?
Almost certainly.
No, however, it gets quite leery at night
That's
time.
just the street
and then
outside.
Furniture gets messed up and all that. And then often, what's crazy is we have classes there, Bodyguard 101 we call it, and we
Really?
do classes there, yeah. That's how I
Nighttime
learned my
course.
basics. There's a guy in there, an old cranky fella, but he used to be a bodyguard and he taught me some good stuff to like get the job. So that tavern's usually the one.
Are you thinking of getting the job for
No,
this
well,
person?
love the idea. It might take too long in terms of we got a deal coming up, right?
Yeah, I'm actually gonna at this point with that sort of failure and you guys having this conversation, I'm gonna spend 2 of my fear to just progress things behind the scenes. So perhaps this deal is,
gotta chill
is
back
going to
of the neck.
happen. Yeah, you get this sort of ominous
strange wind.
that when you say like, oh, like we don't know when this is happening, or like it might take some time, like that reminder of like you don't know when this deal is going to take place. So I'm going to tick up a
Simply
little.
Colin just going...
I'm going to tick up a little a little counter that I'm going to start, which is that I'm going to start it on a number, and I'm going to tick it down as you guys are having this
200.
conversation.
We've got plenty of time.
We've got loads of time.
Loads of time.
Well, that sounds good. Have they got any good food there?
You know what? It's actually really not too bad.
You've just eaten. We should
Very hearty
probably
stuff.
move on with other things. Just
Yeah, but by the time we get to the tavern, it would be time for second lunch. So I say we go there.
Good
Sure.
point.
Do I have a place where I know that Talia hangs out?
Yep.
So I want to suggest that we go there.
Okay.
If it's like
What
a.
you guys want?
All right, nice. You got a lead there. And if that kind of falls apart, I can kind of look at the bodyguard angle, try and find someone that works near or with Malachi that can get like a route or something. I don't know.
Understood. Silk sis, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts, they both plans sound reasonable.
Okay, great. Let's proceed.
All right.
Shall we?
So you want to lead them to Talia first and then go to this tavern, or is this like split party? Are we talking here?
I was gonna go to Talia. I don't know if these guys want to come. I don't know if you want to come.
It
with me.
sounds like Hester and Zell want to go to the tavern for lunch. So
I don't mind going with you. I fill my bag with the leftovers.
yeah.
Gosh,
like
you need to meet Daisy.
Muffins.
There you go. Lettuce. There you
Yep.
go.
A few carrots. Yep. All right. So is it, like just to confirm, is this split pie or is everybody going with Katerina to see her contact?
I'm happy to go to
Yeah.
Talia.
Okay.
Yeah, go to Talia.
You guys
Yeah.
make your way. The city is very busy. As I said, it's a festival day. So out in the streets, there are big crowds. As you are traveling through, you can see that like people have made like sculptures out of like plants, like there's flower arrangements. There are like people are doing like ornamental tree carvings because it's all in celebration of the deity of the land and the rivers and the sky, Altheya. And everyone's everywhere. Everyone's got like face paint on. Like this is like a kind of Mardi Gras-esque kind of thing. Everyone's having a really good time. So you're kind of bobbing and weaving through these crowds, and it takes you a little while to reach your district, Katerina, that you are sort of most well known in. Burnbright, the Red Dragon or Cauldron district, and you find Talia. She is in the process of like she's having a night. She's like, "Hey, come on! I've already given you a couple of gold. Come on, give me one of those." And she's arguing with a food vendor. Like she's got like one hand full of what looks to be some sort of like spiced taco, and she's like, "Come on, give me another one. Here, come on, you owe me." And the guy's like, "Well, I don't know. You get out of here." He's like trying to like get her to leave, and she's like, "Ah," and she like shrugs and starts eating this thing. She's like a youngish kind of, maybe 16, 17-year-old girl, kind of scrawny.
Can I go up and just hand another gold to the street vendor and get her another of whatever she has?
Yeah, she like looks at you and there's this kind of look of paralysis where she's like, what do I do? You guys, anybody who wants to can make an instinct roll to get a read on
I
this.
just keep rolling.
Well, actually, because there could be I have to remember this isn't 5e, because you might roll with fear. This is like, you don't have to make, this is I'm going to, if anybody would like
So
to.
all of us who
That's
contribute
true,
fear if we did it.
Yeah.
That's
technically.
exactly it. So if somebody would like to sort of
see.
get a read on her, they
Might
may.
get hope.
Could get hope. I like the
But
optimism.
the hope.
Yes. I need to remember that, like,
you
because
met
I'm so
us?
used to being like, everyone make a perception check, and
Yeah,
this is a
yeah,
very
yeah,
different
yeah.
kind of game. So I have to remember you guys are the ones
Not
that have to
that good.
tell me when you want to do stuff. Like,
I won't because I
doing
feel like
it.
I
I have to restrain the GM in me.
I got 13, and it was hope.
With hope.
Yay.
So you gain a hope token, Hester. So that's great. 13, you say.
Yeah.
With hope, I'm gonna say like you, because it's like an insight roll into a behavior. Like you have grown up around like animals in the Mistworld in the Green Dragon Province. Like you can tell like startled prey. Oh,
I should have added 3 to it.
you did add the 3. So you remember to add your numbers. 16. That is definitely a success. You know frightened prey, and she's gone into like, this is like, her brain is trying to decide between fight or flight, and any minute now she's gonna pick one of those things. And she's either gonna like run away or she's gonna start having an argument with this person. But you move up and you hand like a gold coin. Like you don't have to worry about paying that, you just kind of hand a gold coin. And this guy's like, and he gives you one. And now you have one of these things to offer, but she's looking at you like,
Oh, come on. I'm not going to hurt you.
give me a presence roll, charm.
Says so. Because I am Slyborn, I have advantage on rolls to negotiate with criminals.
She's a criminal.
So do I get
Yeah,
advantage?
absolutely you do.
Crime.
She's a crim.
She's a crim.
So this is presence.
Presence.
+2, I think, for you.
I rolled with hope. I got 12 and a 7 plus a 2.
So 21. Yeah, with hope. So gain a hope. You gain a hope
Yay!
token. So you get more hope. And she's like, she like snatches the taco out of your hand, like shoves it into her mouth. She's like, "What do you want? I can't be seen talking to you."
Come over here.
All right, and she like shuffles over. She's like, "Come on." She like drags you guys into an alleyway as she's like polishing off this taco. And she's like, "Okay, what do you want, Katarina? What do you want, Kat?"
Armsdale's going down.
I don't know nothing. Don't know
Need
nothing
to know
about
where
it.
Malachi's going. You do know. Come on.
I know. Okay. I forgot. I kind of gave her like a Boston dinner. All right. I don't know anything about no arms deal, but I might know where this. If you're talking about Mythvane, right? Malachi Mythvane. Okay. Maybe I know a little something about him.
I step behind her and just be an imposing figure.
Yeah. Absolutely. So this would have been great before that roll because you would have done the help. You could have spent a hope to do a help
yeah.
action.
Help an ally with a D6, right?
But it's fine. In
fine.
terms of the narrative, you're still doing this.
Yeah.
She's like, looks at you and is like, Jesus Christ, I thought you worked alone. Who's this?
I sometimes work with others. It's fine.
Who is Jesus Christ?
He's a guy that I know. He's a real nice
taco
guy.
street vendor.
He's the taco vendor guy, yeah. He's my guy.
She's there all the time.
By the scions. Who's this guy?
Tacos to die for, and then come back to life for.
Exactly.
3 days.
All right. So you're looking for Mythvane?
Yeah, I want to know where he's going.
All right.
Appointments.
Well, okay. I know a few things. I know, the word on the street is he's into there's something big going down. I don't know nothing about that, but it's said that I know that he's got a couple of plans. There's a tailor's. It's called the Veritable Vestments. It's in Brass Bellows, the Bronze Dragon district. He put in a big order, some fancy new suit for something that's happening, sometime soon. Real big order, lot of gold being spent. So that's how I know about it. A couple of people were thinking like maybe they try and get him beforehand. Those people never heard from him again. Pretty sure the diadem took him out. So
Likely.
I know he's gonna be there, and then sometimes he's seen around the Mist River district. You know, I know when somebody's picking up a dead drop, and I'm pretty sure I've seen him picking up dead drops in the Mist River district near the marketplace in Mist Rivers. So I've seen him around there too. But I know for sure he's got this tailor's appointment.
What time's the appointment?
It's like in a couple of hours, I think. It's it's later this afternoon. Apparently, some fancy outfit for something he's doing tonight. I don't know.
How would we identify these dead drops if we were to?
Okay,
back.
so they vary depending on where you are. But in Mist Rivers, in the marketplace, there's a loose cobblestone. It's closest to the fountain on the south side. It'll probably look like he's tying a shoe or something like that, but there's a loose stone. You pick it out, and there's, people leave like messages or packages, inside. And you pick them up, and then you move on.
Is the dead drop watched?
Oh, I mean, like I know them, but I guess that there'd be people watching it. Yeah, for sure. I mean, you'd be pretty stupid not to, right? If it's from the diadem, they're gonna have their own people keeping an eye. They've probably got people watching Malachi all the time, like protection. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
You can assume there will always be someone watching him.
Yeah. Now, are we done, Kat? Can I go? I don't want to be seen near you. If you're messing with the diadem, I don't want to be seen.
Back to your tacos.
Okay, good. I'm gonna go. Jesus and I, I'm gonna have another Jesus taco.
Thank you for your information.
All right, thanks. Okay, bye. And she scurries off.
There we go, and all it cost us was a street taco.
Very good.
I didn't get to try them.
Later,
What one?
we should go to that tailor.
All right, yeah. Off we go then. Veritable vestments.
Or the dead drop.
Or what if we
tailor's
split
in a
up
couple of
and
hours.
one of us, a group goes to the tailors and another group goes to the dead drop while Malachi is distracted?
Split the party.
Party, please.
I would be very much interested to see what information is hidden behind those cobblestones.
I might come with you because usually stuff like that can go south pretty quick. Just saying, if you're caught. So,
I don't think I'll be caught.
I think you might
well,
be.
we'll see. I'll come along anyway if that's all right.
Okay. Doesn't hurt.
All right.
How long does it take? What direction are both of these in?
Unfortunately, they are on opposite sides of the city. Mist Rivers is on the left-hand side. The Brass Bellows is on the right-hand side.
Tell you what.
And it is busy. Like I said, this festival is like the streets are packed. So the amount of time it would normally take you to get around is like doubled at the moment. It's like taking you a long time to get between places. You could try and speed it up by like hiring a carriage, especially if you spend the more expensive griffin chariots and stuff like that. They'll literally fly you over the districts, but they're expensive and they're going to cost you some gold.
How about right? We know he's gonna do this order in 2 hours. We actually got a time for that one. So we could go there. One of us could just be in the shop, listening, peeping, getting some intel, maybe find out where they're going next. Maybe it's like, he could say like, I'm going to the dead drop. And then we'll be like, well, that's where he's going, innit? And then we're gonna go there.
It's true. He might not ever make it to that fountain.
Out of all of you, no offense to anyone, but Professor, you look like you're probably the most suited to go into this tailor show.
I'll take the compliment.
Great finery on you.
Thank you.
Lovely.
It's all standard
Is it?
academia. Oh, yes. Like
Well,
you
you
said,
have to
see,
buy your own stuff.
Not the glasses, like you mentioned, but no, standard vestments.
Fantastic. Great embroidery.
Thank you.
Love the stuff.
So wait, I'm going into this shop in order to...
Yeah, you're gonna like browse and buy something. Take your time with it though, but really you're listening.
I'm listening in. I can do that, yes.
Inconspicuous.
And while I'm perusing the wares of this tailor, what will the rest of you be doing?
Well, we could get some food.
That does sound... I am getting a bit peckish now.
Don't know really. We could stand outside. What if he's got his bodyguards with him? We could distract him.
You could distract them, yes.
So he's left on his own.
I am happy to go into this place. If you wish to utilize me in that way, then yes. consider me dispensable.
I mean,
I can come with you.
I could also
Either one.
go with you because I can put the spy into spider, if you know what I mean.
I don't
No.
know.
I
What you
don't
mean.
know what you mean.
Are you saying you
What
are
do you
going
mean?
to?
I turn into a spider.
Hey, so it costs you a stress, I believe.
Yes.
To use your shape-shifting ability as a druid, and then you're going to choose what tier of form is that? Tier 1?
Tier 1, stalking arachnid.
Stalking arachnid. So what does it look like when you become a spider? Bunny turns into spider. How does that look?
Just like one of those really fluffy little jumping spiders.
Oh yeah.
Is it spider like small
Yeah.
spider?
Now what
It'd probably
size?
be like a
tarantula.
hand, like tarantula size.
Okay,
Says
good.
tarantula.
Okay, not like a
Because
dire
ordinarily
spider.
with like with wild shaping,
I
it's
know.
like massive.
It's
So you
giant.
can become like bigger creatures as well, but this is like a little a stealth spider, isn't it? It's like
Yeah.
specifically.
If it was
designed.
tier 4, I could be a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Hell
a
no.
little
tiny
you're
one.
a little far off from
Alright.
that. A little far off from that.
Hey.
But yeah, this little cute white calico jumping spider just sort of. As the druid becomes it, and then what? You scurry.
I go up onto Kismet's shoulder.
Okay.
Just like, and in a teeny tiny voice, oh yeah,
Boy, the
Can you-
bloody
Can you talk in your
Can you
wild
talk?
shape?
Yeah.
am I allowed to?
I don't know. Does it say anything? Like if you look on the
I don't think you're
on the shapeshift ability,
Ooh.
no, I can look it up in my lovely limited edition Daggerheart book. Not sponsored.
I don't know how
Make
they
it very
could get
clear.
more cute. Now they are even more cute.
Pretty adorable.
That's
It says
true.
I can still use other features and abilities, but not spells or weapons.
So you can still speak.
Speaking is an ability.
No, that's
I'd
true.
say you can still speak. Yeah.
Tiny
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah.
The only reason we ask is because that used to be how it was for 5e.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
If I was
limiting.
an animal.
But no,
an
oh,
Oh, you
animal,
can, it
that's
says spells you cast before and transform stay active and last for the normal duration, and you can talk and communicate as normal. Specifically, says it.
amazing. Great.
So,
Good distinction.
That's pretty great.
so yeah, this little voice like. But yeah, all right.
Oh, okay. I mean, I was seconds away from asking what your, I guess, tool set was. Hester.
Useful tool set. Okay.
Do the little
together.
arm wavy thing. Oh, that is so cute. Whoa. Sorry, I scared.
I'm surrounded by idiots. No.
Well, Hester, and I'll open my jacket, and there's be like an inside pocket. If this is where you'd like to sit for the time being before we enter the.
Ooh, you got some good lint in here.
No, I shouldn't do.
Been free.
So I can jump onto him and just go around on the guy now.
Okay.
Well, that's now two people that are entering the store. One, obviously, very
will-
disguised.
Oh, hang on. A thing is happening.
All
So
right.
I will use a stress to use uncanny disguise, and I can don the facade of any humanoid that I can picture in my mind.
Okay.
So
What do
I
you
will. I'm gonna look at the wealthiest woman I can see in the market
Sure.
street.
Yeah, you find like a wealthy-looking silk trader.
I
somebody-
will transform into her.
Long, sort of like elegant dress, like long sleeves, maybe some sort of like head wrapping as well. Maybe somebody from the Azar Steppe, the Blue Dragons province, basically. And yeah, your features change. Your complexion darkens to match hers. Your hair changes color, and even your outfits and your clothing forms to match. It's this illusion of darkness, kind of manifests all over you.
Get it now, Mr. Toombs picked well with all of you. That's amazing.
Yes, I'm starting to feel quite out of place here.
You're doing great.
All right.
Thank you.
Just this tiny voice.
Those that wish to stay outside the shop, if you could perhaps limit the amount of people that are trying to enter. If there are bodyguards and things, find some way to make it so that we, if things go south,
Right,
have to
right.
deal with less people.
Try
How
and
are you at fighting?
Not bad, honestly, yeah.
Street brawl distraction?
Oh, you want to fight me? Right. Yeah, we can have a brawl. Are you sure?
It's what
Can
I
I
have
use
been.
my two-handed battle axe?
You may use whichever you
I think that
prefer.
might attract the guards.
You reckon?
Yeah, maybe a little
much?
bit. Maybe just
What if we're just
Gather how
intimidating
many-
at the door?
Yeah.
And we're just like, no one's coming in right now. Well, obviously I'll put
This-
on my thing.
Yeah, you're very good at that.
why don't you
Right.
just find out how many guards he travels with? Information.
All right.
Gathering information.
I could
be
try
useful.
and get in there with the guards and try and learn some stuff on the outside.
Certainly could try.
Yeah.
All right. With this sort of rudimentary plan, you guys make your way. Like I said, it's very busy streets, so it takes you.
This is a great plan.
There are
Is it?
layers.
It's sure.
We're good.
You guys make your way to the Brass Bellows district. This is the Bronze Dragon district here in Kelscarris. The streets here are a lot more tightly packed. Less of the revelers, less of the sort of big festival is happening here. But these are very narrow streets, and all of the shops have illusory magical like shop signs and decorations. There are also lots of kind of like magical gas lamps that light the city streets. It's daytime, so they're not lit, but you can tell that this is a very magical district, right? There are little automatons, like brass automatons carrying things here and there. There are you see like people in wizardy kind of robes just stood on these magical discs that are kind of like floating them around so they're not walking and stuff like that. But you eventually find your way to the Veritable Vestments, which is this very upmarket, very wealthy-looking tailor's shop. The outside has this illusory symbol of this beautiful kind of like suit and this illusory needle and thread weaving its way through, kind of glowing and leaving sparkles in the air as it passes. It is kind of tucked into like a narrow sort of like street with a sort of largish open area in front of it. It has like large bay windows out the front, and you arrive, maybe I would say, well, that's a good question. Who's leading you through the streets and the crowds? Because I think I'm going to have them make a roll. Like, who's gonna because there's like you're trying to get.
This is quite like willowy and weavy. Like maybe
Sure.
she can they can go ahead and like carve a path through.
Sure. So this will either be I will let you either make an agility or an instinct roll.
I'm gonna do agility.
And just as a quick reminder, do not forget you can spend your hope to add your experiences if you have anything that is relevant.
Not really.
All right. So it's just normal roll then.
I got a 1 on my hope die. Oh, that's the wrong fucking. Thank you. D10. Where'd you go?
Forget you add them together.
Where'd you go? Okay, cool. 9 and then 10, 11. I got 12. The highest was my hope die.
So 12 with hope.
Yep.
I'm going to say 12 is not a success. So you're delayed getting there. So he's going to arrive before you guys. But you do get a hope because you rolled with hope. And I'll say that it's literally you're just behind him, right, as the little bonus effect. So as you arrive, you see a figure entering this shop. He's flanked by a rather weaselly-looking wild heart with little rat ears and a little rat tail coming out of his trousers. And then next to him is this very beautiful cauldron woman in a red dress, like kind of dark brunette hair tied up, sort of like kind of like flaunting herself next to this very like well-built, stocky dwarf, very, very well dressed. You maybe catch a glimpse of like heavy-set diamond earrings and rings and chains as he enters the store just as you kind of get to the edge of the alleyway. Outside the shop now stand two elite-looking, like free sword mercenary guards. You know, heavy cuirasses, like leather armor underneath the chest plate. You know, swords that have been well kept and well oiled, and they're just sort of looking around, keeping an eye on the place, basically, as you guys arrive, and you see him enter to attend his appointment.
Right, I've got an idea.
What's that?
I'm your bodyguard. You're important. That will give me an in with these guys.
Quite important.
Oh, I'm not saying you're not. Sorry.
Right.
I'm just saying, like, to get me into
I've
it.
dealt with bodyguards before, yes. I
Great.
can unofficially hire you, of course, no money.
Temporary.
Temporary.
Just to get the job.
Just, yes.
And to make me look the part for them.
Of course. So
Right, and
our
you can
plan
be
is
with
to
me as well.
still now enter this building
I won't come in.
with this person.
I'll allow you in.
I mean, I'm sure I'm allowed in.
No, yeah, I'm just saying, like, I'll stay with the bodyguards outside,
Yes.
get the convo going here, while you go inside
Okay.
and do your listening and stuff.
Okay.
How are you feeling, Hester? Not too stuffy, I hope?
No, it's nice in here.
Good.
All right. So, Kismet, you and Zell start making your way with Hester hidden inside your jacket. You begin making your... As soon as you start moving, like you look like you're about to enter the shop, the two guards sort of close ranks and stand in front of the store, and they'll just say, "Sorry, sir, somebody's inside in a private meeting. Shop's closed for now."
That simply won't do. I have an appointment for... Well, it's admittedly for 5 minutes from now, but I'd like to enter.
Then I'm gonna have to ask you to wait 5 minutes, sir. And they are like in cool, you're not coming in.
I'm gonna put a hand in front of you and just step up to them, chest.
Just
out,
intimidation.
and just look at them both.
Sure. I mean, this is definitely a charm, intimidation sort of role here. Yeah. If you are using, you're using like your body language here and like
I'm gonna spend a hope as well.
on an experience. What experience?
Can I help?
Sorry, are you intimidating them?
Yeah.
I might also be able to help in this, but what do you want to do?
I was going to stand like next to Zell and just crack my knuckles a little bit.
So you kind of move up as another
Yeah.
bodyguard, effectively.
Yeah, there, just try and
Okay,
play the
so
part.
you spend a hope and you give advantage to the roll
Okay.
with the help an ally. So you get an extra d6 to this Zell. So, and in what experience are you using? How are you justifying it?
Don't test me.
Don't test me. That's perfect.
Oh,
Literally
nice.
perfect. So this is going to be with your charm, but also the bonus of that experience, which is
2.
2. And then what's your charm?
My charm is 1.
All right, so you get +3 to the roll,
3.
plus the d6 from the
D6.
advantage. Is there anything you want to do, or is this you're going to save it? And...
Well, no, the only thing I've got is I, as an Infernus, I have Dread Visage. I have advantage on rolls to intimidate hostile creatures. I know I'm not doing it.
Well, so also, if you remember, this is something I wanted to swap because that doesn't make sense for tieflings in Altheya.
Right,
So
yes.
I did change it on your written character sheet,
okay.
where it
Find
is
that
a instead it's you get advantage when you are charming a friendly person.
Right.
Tieflings are very well beloved in Altheya. They are the children of Saint Typhene, who's like a holy saint. So I wanted to change that to represent that in the world, which is the nice thing you can do with Daggerheart. You can change stuff to match your world. You can change stuff. It's nice
yeah,
and easy.
fair enough. That's okay. Well,
Is that all right?
advantage
Sorry.
anyway. Yeah, no,
I
that's
did
fine.
mention that when we were making the character, but it's easy to forget.
Yeah.
22.
20 with
Hope!
you gain a hope. And they didn't match, did they, Trox? Remember, that's a critical.
Did not match. It's
Okay.
a 9 and an 8, though.
All right, perfect. 9 and 8, so really high. Yeah, like you step up, and then Silkish, you come from behind, and these two guards sort of size you both up, and they obviously decide, oh, it's not worth it. And they say, all right, fine. You can go in, but yeah, our boss is inside, so you two can wait out here with us, is that what they'll say to you.
I'll gesture you a path between the two.
Yeah.
by putting my arm out.
And they will step to the side.
Much appreciated. I won't be long.
Can I go and see if there's like a back door or side door into the shop?
Yeah,
Basically, what I
absolutely.
want to try and do is insinuate that I was here the whole time
Yeah.
by going in and
Just appearing
Yeah,
from like a
yeah.
fitting room or something like that.
Yeah.
So you make your, while this is happening, you've snuck around the back, Katerina, and you would notice that there's not a back door, but there is like a window that looks like it maybe goes into like an office or something like that. It is shut from the inside, but you're a certain type of person. That's never stopped you before. It is going to be a finesse roll to try and maybe unlatch this window from the outside. You know, you pull out your tools and start hooking it out. Now, do you want to spend a hope to add one of your experiences?
Yeah, can I do, the Phantom Thief of Burnbright might
Your
apply.
experience, yeah, I think so. The Phantom Thief of Burnbright.
Damn, what experience.
So spend a hope. So you remove one hope, and then you get to add that experience bonus, which is
3.
3, and then your
Additional
finesse.
And my finesse is 3.
Oh, so +6 to this roll.
Nice.
Nice.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Oh, I rolled on fear though.
Okay.
So 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 23.
23. So it's a success. The only thing I'm going to do here is like I'm gonna have you mark a stress because you're like looking over your shoulder, making sure nobody sees you do this. And it's quite stressful. But yeah, you hear like a catch. You flip the little latch on the inside. You prise the window open. You slip in. You seem to be in like the owner's office. There's like a desk. There's a few papers and things like on the ledgers and things like that. But you can easily make your way into the shop from here, no problem. Meanwhile, Kismet, you just walk in. You see immediately when you step in, there's like a little tinkle of the door, and this dwarf, Malachi, turns around, clearly furious that you've been let in. He like looks around, he's like, what the hell are those two doing? And he like looks around and he like looks at you and he's like, He just kind of gives you like a, like...
Oh, you're the boss of the two grunts outside?
They're not supposed to let anybody in.
Sorry.
He'll turn to this like weaselly rat man next to him. He's like a rat, a wild heart, and he's just like
a literal rat.
Yeah, a literal rat. And he's like, dock their wages by 50%. And he's just like, of course, Mr. Mythvane, of course. And he pulls out like a ledger book, and he's like,
bad people, it's fine.
Dock their wages.
I didn't realise my presence was so uninviting for a 50% dock, but
I have a private reservation. They were supposed to prevent anyone from disturbing me. But fine, go about your business.
I mean, I'll walk up to, like, I guess if there's like racks.
Yeah, there's like racks.
and things.
It's all very high market, so it's like a few display mannequins, and then maybe like there's like 4 things on a rack, but they're all like, you look at the price tag and it's like, geez, by the scions, this is a lot,
Yeah, I mean, I'll sort of not like leaf through them, but kind of gently look.
Like you're touching the fabrics,
Yeah.
like you're properly browsing.
But I want to ask. I just want to ask him. And what is this important event you have planned?
So,
And also,
first things first.
I'll let the spider slip out into the clothing.
All right, so let's do a couple of things here, because the first thing is you try and address this man, and you see that his lady friend, this woman in red, this cauldron woman in red, she is going to use a feature called Searing Glance.
I'm not even.
Oh, actually, so first things first, because I can only do this when you make a presence roll. But I think you're trying to sort of address him to sort of get some information out of him.
Yeah, just idle
conversation.
chatter.
So just make a presence roll for me.
Presence.
Set 'em up.
I want to use the ability.
I mean, this is charm, perform, or deceive, right?
Yeah, exactly. And you are trying to kind of be charming.
Great. Infernus.
Yeah, you are. Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I,
this is tiefling. This is being a child of Typhine.
Yes, so I have advantage on rolls too.
Yeah.
Charm. I guess, but do they count as friendly though?
Yeah, I'd say so because they're not hostile.
Right now.
They're not friendly, but they're not hostile. So.
Okay.
So you get D6.
A D6 on top of my.
Any
roll
experiences?
here. Any experiences here? I don't believe my little sprite can help me out, nor can being an arcane professor help me out. So
All right,
I will
so just a flat roll.
leave it there. So that is. I rolled an 11.
Oh, you get the
So I get
thing.
my,
So you get a
my
hope?
strange patterns.
Yep.
Yay!
So I just gain hope. Hell yeah.
Sweet.
Was that on hope or?
And it was on hope as well. Let me just gain my hope.
So you gained another hope because you rolled
Yeah.
with. Oh, actually, we need to see.
I roll with hope. So 11 on my hope, 3 on my fear. So
Plus the
14
advantage.
plus my advantage, another 1, so 15.
15 is just barely a success.
Okay.
You also don't forget you take another hope
plus
because you
2.
rolled with hope.
Yeah.
Plus 2.
Plus 2, so 17. So you get another hope because you rolled with hope.
Oh, gosh.
So yeah, he turns to you and he's just like he's obviously like, oh okay, right, this guy's kind of important. I should.
I'm not even like directly looking at them. I'm just idly sort of leafing through.
What
these
did you
clothes.
say? It was like.
Well, I mean, I said, and what is this, event you have planned for tonight or whatever?
Sure.
I don't feel like it would be exactly that. I don't want to directly
No,
say
it sounds more friendly than.
what criminal activities you
No,
up to,
no.
sir.
You're like, oh, is it for a special occasion
Yes, exactly,
or something like that?
sort of
Done
thing.
any crime lately?
Are you a criminal?
And
Stick.
yeah, he will. Okay, nice. So, first things first, because you rolled a presence roll, his lady friend is going to use her searing glance. So, if you had failed, I can make you mark 2 stress and you become vulnerable until the scene ends. So I get advantage against you. But because you succeeded, you just mark 1 stress. She's glaring at you.
She's glaring at me, but again, I succeeded, so I'm not even looking at her.
You're not looking at her, but you do feel a bit of stress because you are going to mark 1 stress.
Right.
But he's just like, he turns to you and he's just like, oh, it's, I'm surprised you haven't been invited yourself. It's quite a high market affair. If you're shopping here, I would have expected you to be invited. But no, it's a little shindig that I've been invited to. It's rather a celebration of the arts, let's call it.
You know what? I think I may have been invited.
Yeah, I'd say you're like, as you move out of the office.
What I'd like to do is have like picked up a dress or something on my way in, gone into the fitting room, and just basically I'll be in the shadows.
Sure, I'd say you can do that.
Positioned there listening.
To like jump in. Yeah. So you're in the fitting room kind of like listening.
Yeah.
Just give me a finesse roll to see if you can stealth your way through. And again, if you want to add experiences, you just spend a
Phantom Thief of Burn? No.
Yeah, sure. You can do it if you'd like to.
No, I won't add
All right.
experience, but I do have advantage with criminal things to find a safe place to hide.
I don't think this is very criminal, like, it's not finding a safe place to hide. This is just moving undetected. So.
9 and a 12. I rolled a 12 on Hope.
Okay.
So
Nice.
19.
Yeah.
22.
22. Yeah, I
22.
mean, success with another hope. So you take a hope. You are undetected. You move into
Nobody's ever seen me.
into the showroom. You move into like.
I walked straight past them and they didn't even notice.
No, yeah, absolutely. You sneak in easily.
Okay. I just wanted to be able to hear the
You
conversation.
definitely hear it. Hester.
Can I have gone from the clothing onto the wall up to the ceiling, and now I'm dropping down like dun, dun, dun,
To get onto the dwarf.
Yes.
So this is going to be another finesse, like stealth roll, basically.
Are you
from
tarantula?
Why would you go from the ceiling
being
to
a
get onto a
tarantula?
dwarf?
That
Because
is
it's
the
Mission
longest
Impossible.
way down.
You go past so many
Because she
eyes.
wants to do the Mission Impossible thing.
Important.
It's very important.
She's committed to the bit.
So does your spider give you any benefits? Let's check that first.
So I have +1 finesse.
Okay, so you get an extra +1 to your finesse, and any other benefits for like sneaking or just you can walk on walls and be a spider?
Gain advantage on sneak.
There you go.
So does that
So
mean
it
I
gives you an
roll
extra
these-
d6.
Ooh.
So your finesse goes up by 1 and you get the advantage.
It has a thing that says melee finesse. Would that be?
That's a melee attack.
Oh,
That's an
okay, that's
attack,
only
yeah.
attack.
Yeah.
Great. Whoa. So
It was on Hope.
it's on Hope.
Okay.
This is maths on the fly. 15 + 2 is 17.
17. So you gain a hope because you roll with hope. And yeah, like this little spider goes up onto the ceiling. And then as he's turning around and talking, unbeknownst to anyone in the shop, you just dun 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 dun, dun, and then you're on his back. He does kind of like go to brush you and you scurry like into a pocket basically.
Yeah.
You're now on this
Wow.
You're on the criminal.
Ballsy.
And yeah, so he'll turn back to you, Kismet, and just be like, yeah, it's a celebration of the arts. And then his, you see the shop owner comes out and he's like, oh, Mr. Mythvane, I have your custom order here, just as you requested. And he hands over like this very lovely suit that has like magical illusions woven into the suit itself, which almost makes it look like it's like a glittering vein of metal. So it looks like the suit is almost like earth, and then it has like this glowing veins of metal running through it.
That's cool.
And he like examines it. He's like, fine work. Yes, this'll make me look resplendent. Yes, excellent. And the mask. And he's like, oh, of course as well. And he hands over like a sort of mask on one of those sticks that you kind of hold up, and he hands that over to him as well. I do hope you enjoy the evening. I'm quite excited to hear the story about it. He's like, yeah, some artsy thing. I don't particularly give a shit. And he's just he's like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. And yeah, he seems like he's wrapping up his business. This like mistress or whatever it is just sort of like kind of like tosses her hair at you, Kismet, after glaring at you for the whole time.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
and she just is there anything you guys want to do before this guy leaves?
Before they leave, well, we really need to tail this guy now because you are in his pocket. But also, he just picked up a mask, which means people are wearing masks at this party. So I need to get some masks.
Craft time.
Anything? So the two bodyguards outside, just before we cut to break
Speak
here.
concurrently.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Cool. I knock his chest plate.
So you literally go up to him and like rap on his chest plate. He's like, "What the fuck, dude?"
Malachi, eh? Nice job.
It's like, yeah, I suppose. He pays all right.
Yeah, how long have you been doing that job then? God, you must have worked all around.
Long enough.
I worked Dragon Court.
All right.
All right.
All right.
I'm just impressed.
Good for you.
What's the pay like?
What's your deal? Why are you trying? Why are you being? I don't want to talk to you.
I'm bored. Are you not bored?
Be bored over there.
When you do the 12-hour shifts outside, just standing all stoic like?
Well, I don't know what jobs you're used to, but Malachi's a lot more interesting than that.
Oh,
right?
good. What sort of interesting stuff does he do then?
He goes to he does business. He goes to restaurants. We get to have food and drink.
Oh, that's not good, is it?
Sometimes he goes to stuff like, what's he going to tonight? Oh, we're not supposed to talk about that. Yeah, whatever. He's going to St. Cool tonight.
Not that. The
What?
thing that's going on. Not the thing that everyone's talking about.
Give me a presence roll to see if you can trick this man. Is there, no, he's just rolled no experience. Crit! God damn it. Every time!
15.
Okay, so you get hope. And you can clear a stress, but I don't think you have any.
Stressed.
That's a classic
His
Chris Rock
mate
moment.
literally is just like, yeah, the thing, the opera, right? And he's just like, he's like, yeah, the opera, the what's that Cauldron Theatre called? The big one.
Yeah.
And the other guy's like, shut the fuck up. We're not fucking supposed to talk about that. You know it. Like, he's
It's
like, forget what you heard. Just forget what you heard.
Nothing. I don't really care that much anyway. I got a job tonight.
So I've never been to a theatre.
What the hell is this?
So, honestly,
He's like looking at you like, what are you?
I am a second-generation elf.
I didn't realise elves look like that.
I wouldn't want to get on their wrong
What
side.
do I look like to you?
I don't know, like you fell into like a pot of jam or something. You're all like green and purple and shit.
Jam is delicious. I am also delicious.
All right, they're weird.
Hey,
like,
hey, something.
okay, yeah,
Currently working together.
right, great. Just forget what he said. He's an idiot. Like he doesn't know what he's talking
Forget
about.
what?
Exactly. Good. Stop trying to be
Appreciate
nice.
that.
I don't want to be your friend.
All right, fine. I'll stand
He
over
is
here.
very friendly.
He's like, I think he's real nice. Why am I giving the other guard a Brazilian accent now?
You know, it's
Just so endearing.
It's just I
He's
can't
not
help
his
it. It's
mate.
such an endearing accent. He
Well, see you
would.
later.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I'm Zell.
Okay, Zell.
Cool. If there's any jobs going with Malachi, let me know.
Yeah, because we're just gonna give you our job.
No, I'm just mean if he upgrades to 3 or something.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Are you 24 hour? Do you do you watch him
He's got
sleep
other.
or
He's
something?
got other guards.
All right. Fine. I'm just saying if one of them dies, let me know.
There's a panic look of like, what do you mean dies? Like we can die? But yeah, he's very confused by you.
Confronted by his mortality, and
Sounds-
even outside of this job. Humans die?
Wait, dying's a real possibility in this job. But yeah, he's just sort of like, yeah, like just look. I don't want to be your friend. There's no job offers. Just get out of here.
All right. Hey, you want to play fight?
We
Just
can
while
play
we wait.
fight, practice training.
Yeah.
Yes.
What am I warming up? Check this out.
You guys just want to go?
I think we just want to go.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, you guys, there's no initiative, so like, if one of you's going to attack, one of you makes an attack roll. This will be the last thing before we cut to break.
Lay it on me.
Are
And I
you
grip
certain?
one hand on my battle axe and just wait.
So you're just going to give Silksis a free hit.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, Silksis, take it away.
Silksis is going to go into one of their forms to start with.
So you have to spend a stress.
Spending a stress.
To gain a focus
Gain
that
a
you can then
focus.
spend on the stance.
Yep. So I am going to take where is my sheet? There it is. Hello. I'm going to take my quick stance.
So what does this look like? What kind of
Wait,
stance?
actually, no. I'm going to take my immovable stance.
Okay.
So yeah, you see Silksis, their body stiffens. It's really strange. Like normally she's very live and very wobbly, very just like a tree almost. But then, like she just
Snaps rigid.
Snaps, to attention. Like her body almost plants as if it's one with the earth, and she just stares at you. Hands, palms facing you.
Oh shit!
Strike.
Are you gonna make an attack?
Yeah.
Okay. Unarmed strike attack against Zell, I guess.
Alrighty.
I guess.
What's happening?
It's PvP apparently.
So I rolled a
Your unarmed strike.
unarmed strike. So I rolled a 9 with hope.
So does a 9 beat your evasion, Zell?
Yes.
All right. I'm not going to award hope or fear on this because it's a PvP roll.
Play fine.
Yeah.
play.
Otherwise, you could
Go
just
for the kill.
farm
Just
by
trade it.
attacking
Yeah,
each
yeah,
other.
we're just-
So you hit.
Yep.
So roll your damage.
2d10, 2d6. So
Playtest class, by the way.
and then also I'm going to combo strike.
So this is your special class mechanic, isn't
Yes.
it? Yep. So okay. So what does this look like? So this is like an open palm strike.
yeah.
And then what is
So
the combo?
One strike, and then they just get faster. The boom, 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 boom. Like,
This is like full JoJo's now.
Yes.
So you roll a d4.
Yep.
And if you roll the same number or higher, you get to keep rolling.
yeah. So I rolled a 2 to start with.
All right. So 2,
A 3, so we're still
3.
going.
So we're at 5.
A 3, so we're still.
8.
And we're lower, 2.
So,
So-
10. An extra 10 damage
10
is added.
damage. That's 10, 22 damage.
So 22 damage. How does that compare to your damage threshold?
Severe damage.
Right. Can you spend armor to reduce
I
it?
can, actually.
Would you like to?
Yes, please.
You don't want to take 3 hit points worth of damage?
Nope. I would not. So I'm going to knock that down. My severe damage is actually a 19 threshold. So
Okay,
I
so,
can take
and
two
what's your
more.
armor score?
4.
So 23 if you...
Would actually bring it down to
19, which is still severe.
Half.
It has to be lower than your threshold.
Mark, how does combat work?
So, in this, you make an attack roll, as we just saw Rhiannon do. So you make an attack roll. If you beat a target's evasion, or if it's a monster, their difficulty, you hit. You then roll your damage. But rather than doing, say, 23 points of damage, that's compared to something called a damage threshold. And you have your minor, major, and severe. And depending on which category that damage falls into, depends on how many hit points you mark off. And then you can reduce it by spending armor slots to do that. Now, I think as a stalwart, Chris Trott, you actually have the ability. Normally, you can only spend 1 armor slot.
Yes.
You have the ability where you can spend as many armor slots as you
Spend
want.
3 hope to clear 2 armor slots as well. So yes,
So if you wanted to, you could spend 2 armor slots to reduce it by 8.
I can mark an additional armor slot to reduce the severity.
There you go.
So I'll do 2.
So you'll spend 2 armor slots to take it down to a major, because it would go 23. Still 15, so it's still a
2
major. So it's still 2 hit
Just
point
play
boxes.
fighting.
So I imagine
play
that
fighting.
this is Silkis hits you with this open palm strike, and you're like, how's that? And then it's like you feel the reverberation through your arm, and then just, and you just stumble back as it feels like your bones are vibrating in your body. And then as you're left standing, you just immediately vomit, as this pummeling of strikes hits you, and you mark 2 hit points.
I just fall collapse.
It's just, you just double over.
I do the Tom Scott.
You're just rolling on the floor. And with that is where we will cut to break to see what happens in part 2 of our Daggerheart One-Shot.
It's an interesting opening to the plan.
It's an interesting opening. We will see you in part 2, everybody. Enjoy the 5-minute break. We will be back just after this to speak to you then. Bye-bye.
See you in a bit.
Bye.
Ooh, hello everybody. Just before we jump back into the episode, I just want to remind you guys that we are playing Daggerheart. It's a special one-shot. We're missing a regular member of our crew, so rather than doing our regular Altheya the Dragon Empire 5e campaign, we thought we'd do a little Altheya Daggerheart one-shot instead. This isn't sponsored. We just decided to do this. If you don't know Daggerheart, go and check it out. It's by our pals at Darrington Press and Critical Role. It's a really, really fun system. We hope you've been enjoying it. Also want to remind you about we have a load of brand new merch out on our merch store as well. We got new tank tops, new water bottle, new cross-body bags, as well as backpacks, loads of other really good stuff. Our merch store is a great way to support us, and you get a lovely thing from it as well. And if you are brand new, if you're checking this out because you're interested in us playing Daggerheart, go and subscribe to our YouTube, and then you get to watch all of our previous campaigns. We've got a lot. We've been doing this about 10 years ourselves, so you can go back and check out some of our amazing campaigns, maybe learn more about Altheya, the world of Altheya, in our main campaign.
We've got 69 episodes to watch of that. That was
That's
so
true.
loud.
So loud.
Crazy.
But yeah, go and check those out, and it would be amazing if you could go and subscribe to the channel and go check out our other stuff. Subscribe.
Please.
With that, let's jump back into Daggerheart. Welcome back to Daggerheart, an Altheya special one-shot. Our heroes have been recruited by the bookseller / publisher, Malcolm Toombs. Surely there's more to this man than meets the eye, who has asked them to investigate a potential planar arms deal going down in the city of Kelscarris. Specifically, this arms deal is being brokered by a criminal organization called the Diadem, who have sent forth one of their agents, a very wealthy dwarf businessman called Malachi Mythvane. Malachi has some sort of powerful influence in the city, and the buyer of these mysterious planar weapons and arms, or who knows what it is an unknown figure just yet, and Toombs has hired the party to intercept it and perhaps learn who this buyer is. In doing so, they tracked Malachi to a boutique tailor's where he was receiving a custom outfit for an opera happening tonight. And with that, we jump back into the action, pretty much.
Which side of the action, I have to ask? Because one side of the action is us just perusing clothes.
Indeed.
The other side of the action
Well,
is someone's cave being
Yes,
being caved in, sorry.
Silksis, the elven brawler, has just pummeled our good orc Zell, guardian stalwart bodyguard, in the chest in a sort of play fight spar that has probably broken a few ribs, leaving you 2 HP down after you just took quite a nasty blow and had to spend quite a considerable amount of armor to protect you from it as well. Like, there is a crack, or in the chest piece of your armor now from this resounding unarmed strike. You are gasping for air.
Fetal on the floor.
Yeah.
Just like...
Silks just crouches down beside him. Are you well? Was that a successful spa, friend?
It was a little more than what I thought it would be, but a really good hit. Good job.
Would you like some assistance? And I'll give him a health potion.
I think the bone's in my lung.
Oh, apologies. Please take the health potion.
Thank you. These are expensive.
I believe that is, it's a D4 and you restore that many hit dice with it, I believe.
Where'd you get this from?
I always carry one
Altheya, they're
with
really
me.
rare.
Well, this is different rules now.
4.
4, so yeah, you get all of your HP boxes remarked.
Bloody hell.
Is your lung restored?
Yeah, just snap back to place.
So
I'm not fighting you again.
As you drink that down, inside the store, Malachi and his entourage, his mistress and his clerk, are finishing up their transaction. The clerk is paying over handfuls of gold, and they are basically getting ready to leave.
Can I come out of the changing rooms?
Yes.
With my dress.
Costume, your disguise.
I'll just hang.
You see that everybody is surprised to see you there. Oh, I didn't realize there was someone in there, madam. I'm so sorry.
I've been trying this dress on.
Oh, he's definitely looking at you I I don't remember you coming in, but he just lets it go. He's just like, oh, is everything to satisfaction?
Not quite suitable for what I'm looking for, unfortunately. Might come back another day.
I do, because Malachi is a member of the Diadem and you do have a pass to them, I do. You are magically disguised, but obviously you are still trying to play off a role. So I'm going to ask you to make a roll here, a presence deceive roll.
I have advantage.
You have an advantage? What from?
Well, if I'm negotiating with criminals or detecting...
This is pretending to be somebody else. But I believe your spell that gives you a magical disguise gives you a bonus to this. At the very end, it's like a +2 or something.
No. I have I have advantage.
There you go.
On presence rolls. 6, 6, 6. That's a crit.
That is a crit. Double if you match it. The advantage die doesn't matter for it, but the 2d12s.
They're all 6s.
So they're all 6s. So you gain a hope and you clear a stress on a crit.
Woo!
And you and he is just like, oh, madam, yeah, of course. And you see Malachi is kind of like casting an eye over you, like, do I know this person? Like,
no.
Doesn't seem to. And he is just going to be like, well, my business here is done. He's going to leave. But the clerk is like happily to attend to you and address your needs. But nobody picks up on that you are in some sort of magical disguise in this endeavor. So that would be a token off of your disguise, by the way, because that was an action roll.
Oh, they have tokens. That's cool.
Yeah.
How does disguise work?
It's the card that we described earlier, Tom.
I literally
in the
read
first
it.
part, do it again.
No!
Okay. All right.
What's a card?
So Malachi is leaving. The two guards, the door opens, and the two guards kind of snap to, and they look sheepish, like when he comes out, and he's just like, not very good at following orders, are you two idiots? And they're just like, sorry, he just, they had bodyguards of their own. So the man who walks in, he's just like, do you think I give a shit who he had with him? You should have stopped them from coming in. And they just sheepishly fall behind as he's just like snaps his fingers and they sort of fall into step.
Can I say, with an awareness of what's going on, I will usher me and Silksis away,
Okay.
So that we're not seen.
Okay, yeah, so you hear the commotion as they're coming out, and you sort of grab Silksis and like dive into like a side
words.
street.
I just grab you and usher you into like a
Sure.
alleyway.
Yeah, so yeah, you pull into an alleyway and try and get out of sight at this point. Hester, you are like in this guy's pocket as a tarantula, basically. Jumping spider-sized tarantula. A tarantula-sized jumping spider. You are so far unnoticed. You don't know how long that's going to last, but you are in there. I'm assuming that you are just going wherever he takes you at this point. Okay, great.
I do a little wave to Kismet.
Nobody sees you. I imagine he's just going, no, as you go away.
So Kismet and Katerina, it's really on you guys. Like, what do you guys do at this point?
Good question.
I only caught but the briefest of glances at that mask you procured for that man. I'd love to take another look if you have any more.
More masks.
Yes.
Well, yes, we have several.
I was frankly stunned by the quality of the piece.
Oh, well, thank you very much, sir. That's very kind of you. Yes, I can certainly fetch a few. And he kind of goes back into a back room.
If they're in
Comes
a
out
back
with.
room.
Well, he comes out and he lays them out on the counter. He lays out like 5 or 6 of these very ornate opera masks. So the kind of mask that you would hold up as, or a masquerade ball mask, maybe.
How do we get... And how much for these masks?
Oh, these are fine works. They will be a handful of gold each because we don't track individual coins in this.
Yes.
So they will be a handful of gold each. Which I believe all of you have one handful of gold to begin with. Except the spider, who is in a pocket far away.
Does your gold become tiny?
I mean, it's just it merges into Hester's body. Along with all of the other equipment and clothing and everything else.
Okay, and what are you up to at the moment as well?
Tom's like,
Nothing.
What? I'm in the shop.
Okay.
I'm not. I haven't associated myself with you.
No, I don't know you at all.
But
I was just wondering how do we get, without communicating, these masks?
Sounds like
without
you can't
paying
communicate.
real money? We can't communicate, of course.
yeah.
How do we get these masks when I don't have the money to buy them?
Well, that's a shame. You could buy one.
I could buy one. One might just be enough. Could be enough.
Could be enough.
Do I have a way of duplicating? Have I got a dupe glitch?
Don't believe you have dupe glitch as a spell.
No, it's not in my cards.
I don't think it is.
No, it's not in my cards.
Ah, well, that's a shame.
I think
So this man's like, is anything to your liking, sir, or should I
think
take them back? Or?
Katrina is kind of the mindset of, we don't need them. Why would I care?
Fair enough.
But not that we have communicated, but
No.
that's,
We're not communicating, but
If she's not even she's not
You're
even
not even
looking at
looking
the
at-
masks.
yeah.
She's just looking
what is
at,
Katrina doing? Just
she's
browsing the clothes?
browsing the clothes.
Okay.
What I might do is ask, what kind of outfits have you seen people purchasing for tonight's event? I'm curious. What kind of
Oh, all sorts, my dear. I mean, the people that are, there are many events. There's obviously it's Dream Song Festival. People are going to all sorts of events tonight.
for an opera? What would you suggest?
An opera? Oh, well, we're just...
Oh, you two were invited to the opera.
Yes, as a matter of fact, yes.
Well, we simply must travel together.
Oh,
Well,
The Riz.
if I can,
He's a Rizzard.
I must find something suitable first.
well, yes, I have some very fine houses. Obviously, some of the more wealthy patrons, as I understanding it, is the, of course, you would know, but the opening of. I'm going to find the name of this opera I gave it. Of course, Giacomo Rinalos's The Lament of Orovissa is
Yes,
quite
I remember the name from the invitation, but could you spell it for me?
No, I'm not spelling shit.
Now, could you repeat it for me?
Giacomo Rinalos's The Lament of Orovissus.
No, you know what? It's gone. The name has vanished in my mind.
Such a prestigious event. People have been, asking for enchanted outfits and clothing. I've made several. In fact, the gentleman who was just in here hired a fully customized piece. He's bought a fully customized suit for the evening with illusory enchantments upon it. Some people like to. We've had a few requests. Some ladies have asked for ensembles that are reminiscent of the titular character Orovissus, the Silver Dragon. Others have requested ones of her tragic son, who is corrupted by Galdvassar, the Gold Dragon insurrectionist, to commemorate the performance, of course.
Very interesting indeed.
But I'm afraid I wouldn't have any time for anything custom. But we have many on the rack, very fine clothing pieces here for you.
Would I know roughly how much some of these clothes?
The clothes are probably going to be a bag of gold, which is more.
Well, that's a whole different thing.
It is. It's considerably more.
Bag of gold.
Very rich, expensive outfits. The masks, though, are only a handful.
Well, I believe the opera is starting quite soon, and time is up against us.
So, is not interested in a mask after all?
Maybe have a bag, a single bag of gold. I don't want to spend my money on this endeavour.
Perhaps I should return them to the back where I got them from then. Begin scooping them up like fucking asshole. You're not going to buy one.
I simply wanted to look at the work that they had put into the masks. That was all it was. They put clothes on the racks, and I just looked at those.
Yeah.
They can't be too pissed about that. Fuck this place. I'm never coming back here again. Anyway, as I say, time is up against us. I'll sort of gently pat my jacket pocket when I'm looking at you, Katerina. Because I guess, would you have seen where you were? Oh.
I was in the fitting room while the conversation was happening, so I don't
listened,
know
but
that
didn't know the
you
spider.
have. I don't know that the spider has gone. The spider, in my mind, is still in your pocket.
Whilst you guys have been in here, like, having this conversation and stuff like that,
It's just thumping his head.
this is taking a bit of time. You two watch Malachi and his entourage and his guards make their way out onto a street. They board a carriage, and they are leaving.
The others have not left yet.
No, you think they'd be on their... Or maybe they're giving it a little bit of distance like we are.
Maybe.
So that we're not, on the scent, so to speak. They probably got a plan, I imagine.
I hope so.
I'm sure they're talking all the time.
When he goes back into the back for to put the masks back, I'm just gonna walk out the store.
Okay.
Come on, let's go.
Okay.
Sure.
I can't be bothered with the small talk anymore. I
Sure.
have found the information that I want.
You guys leave. You guys have a choice. That carriage is leaving. It is about to hit the streets, and once it's gone, you're going to lose track of it. You're going to lose sight of it. What do you guys do?
I don't know where the opera is. We need to tail him.
We do. Let's get ahead of it then. The others haven't arrived yet. Maybe they've got caught up or something. I don't know.
It's a busy place right now. This carriage is not going to be able to, trundle through at speed, so we might be able to keep up with it for now.
Yeah, you
Yes.
probably can. You just need to. It depends on if you want to stay hidden, if you don't want them to spot you trailing them.
Let's try and take the back alleyway. So I kind of know this place, but not too well.
Yes, the guards have seen us, so they would know.
Yeah.
So you two are going to go after
We're
this
going to
carriage.
pursue it.
All right.
Through alleyways.
So you guys choose how you want to do this, but I am going to need somebody to make some sort of finesse stealth roll to avoid you being spotted as you trail it.
I think, for some reason, I won't do that.
I mean, it's fine to discuss your stats and stuff and be like, Silkus is clearly the more sort of agile, stealthy
very
one.
finessey.
But you could be you could spend a hope to say well, I know this city very well. I'm going to give you a help action. I'm going to do the help action or something.
Yeah,
and give
I'm
advantage.
probably going to do that. I'll
Okay.
use my knowledge of this district.
Sure. So you just spend a hope to give the help
spend a
action.
hope. This is my last hope, actually. I need to
Right.
gain it back.
You need to gain it back somehow. So you get advantage on this finesse roll.
Finesse
a
roll.
D6.
And it's stealth. And you get an extra d6, yeah. Finesse.
Finesse. Like a snake. Uh-oh. 6, 7, 8. That was 10, 12. 14 total, and I rolled with fear.
14 with fear. Okay. First of all, fear, I get a token. I might also make some other stuff happen.
Well done.
Might also make some other stuff.
Could I...
Difficulty 15, 14. Go on.
I don't know if I could have used my Wildborn ability or not.
What does it
but
say?
I don't know. It says, your movement is naturally silent. You had advantage on rolls to move without being heard. But I'm not really trying not to be heard, am I?
This is more about not being spotted.
Yeah, so
I
yeah.
am going to be no. With that, it is unfortunately a failure with fear. So it is about halfway, sort of you've been training them for a little while. We'll come back to you guys in a minute, but you've been training for a little while, and you notice that those two guards, the ones that you spoke to outside, are hanging on to the carriage, kind of keeping an eye on things. And one of them just glances back and completely clocks the two of you, and you just see their eyes narrow as they're like, oh fuck, and you hear that, you see the mouth oh fuck, and they just poof, 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 say something in the carriage, and you just hear you hear some shouting, and then Malachi leans out the window.
Shit, we got to duck.
He looks up at the rooftops, points at the two of you, and then basically is just
oh shit.
and you look around for a minute, and then you hear as a crossbow bolt is going to fly
On these
out
streets.
of nowhere.
It's the mysterious snipers.
So I am going to initiate some attacks against you here, with you guys being sort of ambushed. So let me get my.
I wonder if I stick with my original plan to keep up, because now I know that. Tom knows that.
Well, you guys are going to actually come out, and these guys aren't going to
They're
be
gonna be
anywhere.
gone.
So
I know,
You're not going to see
yeah.
where they've gone.
I don't
all
know
right.
that you're gone. I'm so sorry. You're in a pocket. You put yourself in that position.
Sorry, I had advantage, so I have to roll a d6. I'm just going to roll this again because I'm messing up my rolls. So, against Silkus, this is actually going to be a 23 to beat your
Oh my
evasion.
god, yeah, that does.
And then I'll roll separately. I'll do one against you as well for a skulk. But that is, against you, that is 5, 6. I think that actually beats you. So you maybe...
Evasion's 8.
So yeah, that's what I mean. You
right.
actually managed to you hear the first one coming. It's the bodyguard, tactic, instincts kicking in. You're missed. Unfortunately, Silkus is hit.
In which case,
I was going to say you've got some powers.
I am your shield.
Ooh.
so I can mark as stress to stand in your way. And when you take damage from this attack, you can mark any number of armor slots.
Okay, so you just take the hit instead. So mark a stress.
Yes. I've got the HP for it.
He's having a bad day. He's been pummeled in the chest, and now he's standing in the way.
Luckily, I'm rolling bad on damage. That is only 7 points of physical damage.
Or even minor. Well, it's minor, sorry.
So it'd become a minor, yeah, unless it's 0. So it's a 1 hit point marked off. So you dive in front of Silkis, kind of like proper bodyguard style. The arrow like thuds into your chainmail, but maybe it sort of digs in a little bit or bruises underneath. But you block the arrow that was aimed straight for Silkis.
Yeah.
We're going to jump away from you guys, and then I'm going to jump back, and I'm going to let you guys kind of take some action here. Because that was in response to you rolling with fear. I should also, say I spent 2 fear to spotlight those enemies. So whenever I want to activate an enemy, I either have to, you guys have to roll fear, or I have to spend fear to do it.
Cool.
And because I activated 2, I'm going to spend 2 fear for that. The team in the shop, we'll come to you in a minute, Hester, because you're just a spider. You guys exit, and there is no one to see. You clearly have come out. Maybe you can hear the sounds of a carriage, but the streets are so full and busy, it's very hard to pinpoint where this is going on. You have no idea where anyone is.
I was really hoping we could procure some masks, but we can make do anyway. What should we do to try and catch up to this this person?
Well, we could just go to the opera. We know where they're going. Couldn't we?
So we just walk faster. Okay.
Well, surely that's... I don't know where anyone else is, but I feel like we could maybe see if they're setting up guards already there.
Yeah. Okay, how are you with rooftops?
Doing what? Like running across rooftops?
I throw a card on the ground from my deck of cards, and I'm going to cast Arcane Door.
Arcane Door! What does this
The
do?
card hits the ground. I have to make a roll first to see, I guess, how this works. But when I have no adversaries within melee range, are you an adversary?
No.
Great. I make a spellcast roll of 13, and on a success, I have to spend a hope to do so. But let's see what this would be.
Now, don't forget, you can spend experiences on any roll, so...
Now, would being an arcane professor of the third circle allow me to spend this on literally every spell ever?
You're an arcane professor of the third circle, dude. What does that mean?
Circle.
I don't even know. So this is the nice thing, and I want to highlight this because me and Tom were talking about this when we were making the character. When you make these experiences, I think, and it's something in the book that suggests in the book, and also I think it's saying true, adding these little details of like random world building, I didn't know what this means. But now we've made a canonical thing about the academia where there is some sort of hierarchy that is broken down into circles. What do they mean? I don't know. But now it's a thing that exists in the world and we can make it a thing, right?
Yeah.
So like if Tom encountered another mage, he could be like, what circle are you? Oh, I'm the second circle. Well, I'm of the third circle. So it, this is and use that experience.
9,000.
And I did want to highlight something specifically as well, specifically with character creation. There are steps that you take along the process, especially with writing experiences, that really do a great job of digging into exactly who is your character.
Yeah.
And like
it's not just numbers and stats. Like you actually have to think about it.
Yeah, like it's actually very, very cool, the character creation. But as an arcane professor of the third circle, I
so spend a hope.
Spend a hope to
experience.
use my experience.
This is knowledge because it's your spellcasting.
It's knowledge, so I have another +3, so I've got +6 now to I have to beat a 13. Bam! Oh wow, okay. 9 +6. Good thing I
15.
had those experiences.
Is that with hope or fear?
That was hope.
That was hope. That
Right,
was
you
with
gain your hope back.
So I gain my hope back. I spend the hope to use the spell. So the card hits the ground and the entire thing almost seems to stretch into a long shape before rising upwards and creating this door of, when you look through the door, very obviously the same street we're on above, just down the road. So it's opened another sort of door on the rooftop above. Now that was my original plan before I found out there were crossbow things up there, so I'm sticking with it.
I love it. Yeah, so you...
We don't know that.
You guys go through the door, I'm assuming you kind of like jump
Only
through
one
to get
person can go through the door.
It's not dimension door.
At least for now. I mean, I could do this again.
Yeah.
But that's why I ask you, how good are you with rooftops?
So,
after you.
Who's going through? Ladies first.
Okay. Thanks.
Remember, follow the wagon. Find the people.
What wagon? Huh?
The one we can...
The carriage.
The
carriage thing. They're that way.
So, Katerina, you go through.
Sure.
You end up on this rooftop, and yeah, you've been on rooftops. You're the Phantom Thief of Burnbrae.
Yeah, of course.
Like you can see these like different, and it's all different heights, but it's very sort of fantasy New York, almost like you kind of like skyline. And you're looking down, and you from this vantage point, I think you spot the carriage. This is before the attack happened, right? So you spot the carriage as it's leaving, and you can start moving in that direction to try and catch up with it because you now have the advantage of being able to jump across these rooftops. Maybe there's going to be a roll involved in your part, but I want to jump around a little bit first. Hester, you are in the carriage when you hear, most of it's idle conversation, and you just hear like the little weasel man being like, I think that looking at the ledgers, sir, actually the deduction on the bodyguard's wages is going to be quite profitable. They've been charging us far too much, Mr. Mythmain, and he's just like, shut up, Wilfris, shut up, I don't care about that right now. And he's just sort of like, and he starts talking to this woman. She's like, oh, darling, what are you worried about? You're worried about this deal that you're doing at the opera? It's a pretty big deal, Francesca. If I screw this up, the diadem is not going to be best pleased. And as far as I know, the person that we're doing this for is quite influential. This could be a make or break moment, my dear. And he's having this private conversation. It is about then when you hear a sir, the guys that got the guy that came into the shop, his bodyguards, they're tailing us, and you just hear like, damn it, by the sires, fucking deal with them. And he is like, I'll deal with this, and he leans out the window.
When he leans out,
sure,
can I jump off of him onto the carriage and just like scramble my way up?
Trying to stay hidden?
Yeah.
All right, so it's going to be a finesse stealth roll. Let's see if you can stay hidden.
Okay. Is this still sneaking?
Yeah, you're sneaking. Yeah, absolutely.
It is with hope.
Great.
11, 17 plus 18.
18. Is a success. You beat all their difficulty for hiding. So yeah, you like, as he leans out, you take that moment to maybe scurry down like his pant leg onto the floor and then up onto the wall, and you are now in the carriage itself.
Well, when he like, because
you want to go out onto the top of it. Yeah. So you get up onto the top of the carriage. There's a little spider. You see him basically make this gesture, and when you follow his eye, like he kind of does that, and then he leans back in, and from inside the carriage, you just hear like, the shadow knives should be able to take care of them, but we need to lose them. Driver! And he's like, lose those chumps. And you hear the carriage driver like, sir, but the crowd for the festival. He's like, I don't fucking care, run them down. And he's like, oh yes sir, and starts whipping these magical construct horses that are pulling the carriage. And you hear people like, oh, and like jumping out of the way as he's booking it on this carriage. Basically, he wants to lose the tail.
I jump off. And as I jump off, this may be asking too much, but turn back into me.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can turn back into you whenever you want. So, yeah, so you jump off this, like, moving carriage and turn back into yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, make a agility roll. I want to see how well you stick the landing on this.
Ooh, okay. Ooh, 15.
That is...
And another.
With hope.
Oh, yeah,
15.
15.
Yeah, 15. Yeah, you stick the landing, transforming mid-air, poof, bunny lands, you just stand up in the street. You probably would see the guards, like, watch this happen. They see this happen, but by this point, the carriage just, like, turns around a corner and is
Just
I
waving
shout,
at them.
cheers, drive!
They're like, huh? And then screeches around the corner.
I want to run back to these two.
You start running back towards these two. Okay, great. So let's cut back to the action over here then. What do you guys do? So there's no initiative in this, right? Mm-hmm. You guys can go as often as you like. If you roll fear, I immediately get to activate a bad guy. Mm-hmm. I can also at any point spend my fear to activate a bad guy. So, but for now, you do, and it's free form. You can help each other, you can take it, until you make a dice roll, you can do as much as you want, basically, until I either interrupt it or you roll with fear or you fail the roll. So even if you fail with hope, I still get to take control.
I probably would have pushed you up against some sort of pillar or crates?
This is like a street. I'd say, yeah, there can be some crates, but they're not going to last very long. So you've got like some temporary crate cover.
And I'll just lean up against it
Okay.
with you behind and just pull out this arrow. Well, we're in the shitter now.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah.
Thank you for.
But we don't
helping
have
me.
long, that's all right. But they've started to go much quicker
Yes.
than we originally anticipated. It's going to be a lot harder to catch up to them. So, and they know who we are. We kind of fucked the whole thing, actually.
All right, as you're having this conversation, I'm spending a fear to activate some more shots at you guys, because like you're having a full-blown conversation. More crossbow bolts rain down from the
here they go.
rooftops. So against you, Zell, this is going to be with advantage, because they are currently hidden in their position. That is going to be an 11 to hit you.
Yeah, that's just on my minor damage threshold.
And that is 12 points of physical damage. So what threshold does that hit?
That's into major damage.
So it's the first roll was to beat your evasion, remember?
Oh,
And
yes.
then goes to
Yeah, it
threshold.
hits,
So
and
it
then
hits, and
it's
then 12 is the damage.
2 HP.
So do you want to spend any armor to try and reduce it, or can you? It won't make a difference.
What constitutes a reaction roll?
Well, it should say on there. What is it? What are you trying to do?
I was trying to think, like, if there was a way that I could.
What does the card say? Sorry.
Oh, the elf. It's from my elf ancestry.
Mm-hmm.
It says, quick reactions, mark
Right,
stress
yes.
to gain advantage on a reaction.
So a reaction roll is something I will tell you to make. So normally it's
Okay.
like in 5e when you make a dex saving throw, or like you'll get an opportunity attack. It's like making a reaction.
Okay.
So either a power will say, as a reaction roll, do a thing, or I will say, I need you to make a reaction roll as this guy's cast fireball at you.
Okay.
You know, it's that kind of stuff.
Cool, all right.
So I'll generally tell you if there's a reaction roll.
Okay, nice.
But yes, so you take another as it breaks through the barrel that you're kind of currently next to. The bolt pierces through and hits you again.
Fuck.
We
Sorry, we
need
gotta
to
go.
move.
What do you guys do?
Is there like a stall or a shop or something that we could just like duck into to get some cover temporarily?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So like if I lead Zale across the street, maybe there's like a market stall or something, and we just like
Yeah, I'm gonna say because you're under threat here, that's gonna be an agility roll to basically like sprint across the street to like get into
Make
cover,
that?
basically.
it
You
might be
will
consistent.
both need to make this, I think, if you're both doing it. Yes.
And I assume around that point is when Hester's catching up to us.
Well, I'll find out after this roll.
Okay. That's with hope.
But what's the total?
11.
All right, that's going to be a failure with hope. So you still gain a hope point, but you're going to fail. And I have an idea of what that's going to mean. Let's find out what Silk is.
13 with fear.
So that's unfortunately a failure as well. So with fear, I get a fear token. So you both go to sprint, but these crossbow bolts, they've been silent, right? So you're trying to sprint through this like kind of street party that's going on at the same time. And as you go to run, you collide into a civilian who's got like a flower crown on. They're clearly drunk. Hey! And they go to like give you a drink, and you get shoved. You both fall down as like you're like bustled around, and you fall prone halfway across the street, and poof, you land on your feet. Because you roll with fear, I'm going to activate my bad guy. Another shot is going to come at you this time, Silkis.
All right.
With advantage. That is going to be only an 11.
Doesn't hit.
Doesn't hit. So you kind of roll to the side as this arrow, this crossbow bolt, ping, and you see the drunk guy like, hey, did I just drop a coin or something? And he's like bends down and pick it up. He's like, I don't remember dropping this, and like puts it behind his like ear. He's like, hey, he's like waving it around as you just get these like silent. So Hester, this is the point. You come sprinting as you see your friends desperately trying to dash across. They get bumped around by these revelers, fall down, and you see the you can see that up on the rooftop there are two crossbow like they're wearing like hoods and masks, and they're like tracing like snipers basically this main street. You can see up there.
How close to safety are these two?
They are in the middle of the open street, and they've just fallen at they've been collided and knocked down to the ground.
Okay. I'm going to turn into a bird and fly at their face.
Okay, so you mark a stress to turn into a bird.
Turn into a...
And then there's not an action roll to do. So yeah, you fly up and attack one of these guys. Great. So what's your bird form's attack?
So it has hollow bones, which worries me, but it's melee finesse D4 plus 2 physical.
All right.
So do I just go straight for the damage?
No, you
No, you have to roll to hit first. So was it say +2 on the attack?
finesse +1, evasion +3.
Does it actually have a bonus for the attack roll, or does it just say damage?
Just as for the physical damage,
damage.
I guess. Yeah.
Okay, and then does it say what type of ability? So finesse is it to attack with?
Yes.
Okay, so it's you use your finesse, but +1 apparently. So
Nice. 17.
17
And it's
is
hope, but I'm max hope.
okay. Well, I mean, can start considering spending some. You hit, you strike. So what damage does it do?
So D4 plus 2.
Well, your proficiency is higher. So in this game, you have this thing called proficiency, and rather than adding bonuses to your bonuses, it instead increases the number of dice you roll. So because your proficiency is 2, because you're a tier 2 character, you would actually roll 2 dice plus the number.
Oh,
So is that 2d4 plus something?
Plus 2 physical.
There you go. So 2d4 plus 2.
That's good.
7, 9.
So 9
Did I-
is above their severe threshold.
Wow.
So you fly up and sink your talons into. What kind of bird are you?
I want to be an albino crow. Raven.
An albino raven, but like a big raven.
Yeah.
And you just start pecking into this guy's neck as he's like, and he just collapses. You kill him. Well, you don't have to kill him. You can knock him out. But
I want there to be a lot of flapping as well.
yeah, it's just like,
Feathers everywhere.
and then he goes down. He's down now, basically. So you are now engaged. You succeeded. Play stays with you guys. I think that at this point, Katrina, you've been sort of chasing along the rooftops, right?
So if I see, can I see the crossbow people on the roof?
I'm saying that you are just going to arrive now. These guys are going to be at, I'm going to say they are at like very far range for you. So like you've just arrived and you can now see, we literally just watched this albino raven fly up and peck one to death. But the other one is still at very far range for you.
Can I get within far range?
Yes, so you can spend an action. So when you do movements, we haven't got a map for this because it's a bit of an improv combat. But when you want to move, when you take an action, you can move to something within close range for free and then perform an action. If you want to move far, you have to make an agility roll to basically sprint to get there. And I think it makes sense that you're like leaping over rooftops to do this as well at the same point. So it's going to be an agility roll to try and get, and then that would bring you within close range of him. But it would be your action to do this. But if you succeed, I might interrupt, but yeah.
Yeah, there was stuff I wanted to do.
You still can. Like, it's not a turn thing. Like, it's just that if you roll with fear, or if you fail, or if I choose to interrupt, I might get to do something before you get to do your next thing. But it's still worth doing.
No.
Okay. So agility.
I rolled with hope.
Okay.
15.
Just barely a success. So you kind of leap across all of these buildings, like kind of proper parkour style leaping, and you succeed with hope. So
I wanted to get within far range, and what I want to do
sure
is find an area that's shaded by maybe a building next to it, or like any area of shade. And what I want to do is look to the sniper on the roof, and basically sink into the shadow and reappear beside the guy.
Okay.
Basically, I want to use my
shadow step.
shadow. Yeah.
I don't think it's not a roll, right? You just do this.
Yeah, it's my shadow stepper, so I can move from shadow to shadow.
Yeah.
Basically, if I'm in a shadow cast by a creature or object, I can disappear and then reappear in the shadow next to them.
Yeah.
So I want to just reappear next to him, and I'm cloaked when I reappear. Mm-hmm. So I'm hidden.
Yeah.
Well, cloaked.
So like what?
Fully.
So I'm gonna say you start you parkour your way, and you see that basically if you drop down into the alleyway next to you, you'll be in shadow enough that you can hide and then use that to sort of do your shadow step. I am going to spend a point of fear because just before you dip down, he's going to see you and just try and fire one bolt before you vanish out of sight. So I'm going to try and get a free little shot off of you here. He won't get his advantage to this, though. That's only a 10. To hit your evasion. So you just die, you slide down the wall as this arrow flies past you, and then you melt into the shadows. And then maybe just off there's like a kind of a roof access building, like a little doorway at the top of this building, and you sort of emerge from the shadows where the sun is catching the diagonal and spreading shadows out across the half of the roof, and you just appear, and he has no idea you're there. Before you take another action, I do want to check in with Tom because he's not done anything for a while.
I'm in the business of trying to catch up, and now
The business of running.
yeah. Now, obviously, I could just arcane door my way up there, or could I float a funky use of a spell towards you?
I mean, tell me what you want to do.
Now, I'm going to describe it, and I know you're going to say yes to it because you're also going to think it's cool. Because I'll slightly loosen my tie as I do break into a run down this street.
Yeah.
As I'm going, I want to find if there's like a cooking pot with a lid or a barrel or something that I can. Some kind of quite heavy.
Yeah, it's like a big vessel,
weight.
right? Like I'd say that you can. There's like a lady with like a big stew pot with like a metal lid on it, and she's like, giving out like free, and you can just grab that stew lid as you run.
Thanks very much.
past.
I'll return it soon.
Hey, my stew pot!
As I spin around, I want to drop it onto the ground, and as I'm going over it, I want to use power push on it.
Okay.
You're trying to yeet yourself.
Now, power push, I make a spellcast roll against a target within melee range. On a success, they're knocked back to far range. However, if that's against a surface, and I'm steel pushing it,
he's trying to miss
I want to launch myself
He knows how to get
into
me.
the air.
Yeah, he does.
He knows how to get.
He does.
Speedy thing goes in, speedy thing goes out.
So where are you? So here's what I'm going to say. Normally it would be an attack roll, right? A spellcast roll to like target the thing.
It is indeed.
I'm going to say that roll is going to determine if you fuck up the angle on this. Because the spell's going to go off
Oh my
regardless.
gosh, he just hits a wall.
But like you could hit a wall. You could propel yourself into the middle of the street and then have no way down, right? He could just launch himself midair and then just plummet like 30 feet down.
Yeah,
Let
now
him do
my
it.
intention is to land on a rooftop.
Yeah.
To be in a similar sort
Oh,
of
I
pacing
see.
towards.
Yeah.
That's what I figured you were aiming for. Let's see how you roll.
So am I doing
my
just
God.
a regular spellcast roll here, or
This is going to be a regular spellcast roll.
oh, here it is.
And you can spend your hopes.
Now I do have knowledge of +3. I'm going to say this is an unusual use of the spell, so I'm going to say that my arcane professor of the third circle.
Sure, this is not a standard caster. Yeah, I like that.
Move. I got. Oh, I'm rolling with hope. So I gain a hope. 9, 5, 14.
What's your difficulty on casting the spell, does it say? Or is it just against difficulty of
That's the thing.
creature, I guess?
It's a spellcast
So-
roll against a target.
So that would be the
So I'm
difficulty
gonna
of the
say
object.
that you
So I'm going to
determine
use the environment's difficulty because in Daggerheart they actually give you environment stat blocks to like give you like ideas for like environmental effects. Because you are tier 2, I've set that difficulty at 15. So that 14. You did roll with hope though. So here's what I'm going to say.
Sorry, I'm a big dum-dum. I rolled poorer than that. Worse than that.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So utterly
It's
fail.
still with hope.
But it's still with hope. You do launch yourself. You sail through the air, and you're going to land on the next rooftop over. But you misjudge it, and you don't fully clear it, and you have to grab onto the ledge, and you are now dangling off the side of this building. But you did roll with hope.
You didn't go splat.
I didn't go splat.
That's
No,
good.
you're right.
I am going to spend a fear to interrupt because this archer, this sniper who's was aiming there, sees you launch up, very confused, but sees you completely helpless. He's going to attack you with advantage because you're currently dangling off. That is going to be a 12 to hit.
Does not hit. I have 13.
13.
Yeah.
So you kind of one hand, maybe you conjure a shield or something behind you as this this
Just
bomb.
flick a card and somehow the arrow deflects off of it.
As he like locks his crossbow back to try and take another shot, but that's me done. Like, so who wants to jump in? Like, it's up to you guys. If anybody
try and sorry.
Yeah, you guys can choose. So like,
mind.
it's up to you guys.
I was gonna try and take out the sniper.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Should I?
Yeah.
So
If
I'm
you, and if you
cloaked.
don't, then you can go.
I'm cloaked.
Yep.
And I think for the narrative of it, she would drop the disguise of someone else when she reappears in the shadow.
Just in this
So the
black.
disguise will drop.
Okay.
And then I will just go up behind and slash his throat.
I mean, you can certainly try. Let's
I
see if you
will
hit
try.
first. Let's see if you hit first.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm cloaked. So I'm using finesse. Yes.
Yes. So this is
Yes.
an attack with your weapon.
Yes.
So with your finesse, try to beat his evasion. Or his
Well, I rolled
difficulty.
on fear, but
Ooh, excellent. Yum yum.
I rolled a 21.
So you hit,
Oh, damn.
but with fear. So after you're done, I get to activate. If there's anything left for me to activate.
Yeah, hopefully not.
There won't be. They're done.
So you do get your sneak attack here as well. 2d6 extra damage.
I rolled like garbage. Actual garbage.
This is why you never count it out.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13 damage.
Still enough. These are tier 1 bad guys. So yeah, you just come up and just grab the neck, kind of complete like Tenshu assassin, rip the dagger across his throat as this completely crumples, dead.
Yum.
I am gonna spend my fate though to accelerate the countdown timer of perhaps something going
Yes.
on, and perhaps make things worse. I also want to get a time check because I noticed my timer is a bit slow. I think we've only got a little bit of time
Yeah,
as
we
we
do.
ran over a little bit.
We've done 2.5 hours.
2.5.
2.5. Okay, thank you.
2.5.
So yes, right, we started a bit later, didn't we? Yeah, you guys find yourselves in this like empty street now, basically, or not an empty street. Like there is this party, like nobody. Oh, I suppose like people are like looking at the wizard, like that man. Like he just launched.
No, I wanna
It's like
try-
they're like get blankets or something. Like we're getting down. Don't jump. Don't jump.
I'll
Like a
try to.
trampoline underneath.
Yeah, no, I'll clamber up to get back onto the top of the roof.
Sure.
And I guess you would now be on the opposite side of the road.
Yeah,
So
I'm on
on
the
either
opposite
side of
side.
the road, we're now running down towards, or at least I'm going to continue my run towards trying to trail this carriage.
I think I'm gonna say that at this point, like the
I was
carriage.
gonna say, how
is-
far away is it? Because
I would say that like because he told them to step on it and like ignore the crowds, like it's pretty far away. So if you've
gonna-
got something that can do something, sure.
I was going to ask if I could use my deft maneuvers ability.
What's that do?
So basically, I can mark a stress and sprint anywhere within far range without making an agility roll till you get there. And if I end this movement within melee range of an adversary, I immediately make an attack against them.
You won't end within range of an adversary, but I would say you can do that. And in fact, you guys can try and keep up. You don't have to make an agility roll. Those of you on the rooftops or those on your street that want to try and catch up are all going to have to make an agility roll to do it. Bird can fly, so
Bird can fly.
Bird fly.
Bird fly.
Okay. I definitely want to try and keep up. Now, could I do it in a funky way? And I'm not going to utilize the same spell again,
Okay.
but I have Ice Spike, which is a spellcast roll to summon a large ice spike within far range. Anytime I need to make a long clear across a
You wanna,
gap
like,
or
put it
alleyway
underneath
or
you and-
something. Yeah, like I do the jump, but then Ice Spike comes up just under my feet and guides me the rest of the jump across.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah?
Sure.
Hell
Is
yeah.
it a spellcast roll?
It is a spellcast roll, which I...
Shall I take one of these? Want to get a fit?
Yeah, you get a fit.
Oh, lovely. What's the total?
Hang on.
I don't think it's high enough.
No, I just really... No, I got
was
an
it?
8 total with fear.
I
against-
spike too slippy.
I spiked too slippy, I think. I needed 12.
Yeah.
So it goes
Gets
out.
on it and stacks it.
I'm just going to have you mark stress as, like you managed to barely save yourself from, like, slapping into the floor. I'm also going to tick down on a timer for this carriage to get away. So, like, you sprint off them. So does it cost you anything to do your death maneuvers?
A mark of stress.
Okay, mark of stress. to keep up with this thing is going to be pretty tough. Like
Yeah.
this thing is probably moving faster than you, but you're just like bombing it through the streets trying to keep up. What is Katerina and Zell doing? Because we know bird fly.
Bird fly.
Bird do fly. But
Yes.
if not bird, have tracker. Can track carriage.
What does it say?
Well, it says when you're tracking specific creature or group of creatures. So would that count?
Yeah. It's a specific creature you're tracking. Malachi.
tracking him.
So I want to go back down to these two. Re-bunny. And then spend a hope to ask what direction did they go?
Yeah, absolutely. So you spend a hope, and you might have to do this several times. So I'd say spend 3 hope for me in total.
Okay.
But with Hester's help, you would be able to keep pace and follow these guys. You would learn through tracking, like you kind of stop and like you're checking the road, you're seeing scuff marks of the carriage, you're overhearing pieces of conversation like, man, that carriage just went flying by, like they were in a, like, they you know, someone should tell the guards, like you're kind of picking up on these clues, but you lead the group eventually, leading them to the Mist River district where you think that dead drop that Talia mentioned was going to take place. And as you sort of arrive at this marketplace, you see Malachi, the 2 guards. He's now joined by a 3rd guard who looks kind of different to the other 2.
You're a 3rd guard, and they didn't get you.
Dang.
Didn't get you guard.
I didn't.
Tried to kill
This
him.
guard has a sword, but also has a wand like Kismet does. And the 3 of them are in a conversation. You can see the Weasley clerk and the courtesan are sort of sat in the carriage fanning themselves. As Malachi is subtly trying to make his way to the fountain, like this fountain around this marketplace, but making it look like he's on some sort of errand. He's talking to his bodyguards as he's making his direction to this. I will say that you guys arrive and keep hidden for the time being.
Interesting.
Amazing.
What happened to you? What is this?
It went south really bad.
I see some, yes, crossbow marks, but were you hit by something?
Yeah, 2 arrows from those ones up top.
I'm talking about your chest.
What about... Oh, the cave in?
Yes, that.
Oh,
Yeah, a little
that
play
was
fight.
me.
Why are we infighting already? We're barely
Oh, it's
an
a
hour
play
into this.
fight.
We were testing our abilities.
Knocked the wind out of me and the rib went in the lung.
Are either of you hurt?
I was. But I'm... Oh, wait, no, I got... Oh, yeah. I do have an arrow in me.
Hannah.
Just because Bryony was doing something, and then I'll jump to you because I know Bryony was building up something.
I was just going to say, can I spend 3 hope points and heal baby boy?
What with what? What's the...
With my Warden of Renewal ability.
Ooh.
So I have regeneration, touch a creature, and spend 3 hope. That creature clears 1d4 hit points.
Love it. Perfect. Spend that hope and heal.
I was like, let me have a look at that. What have you got in there?
Do you have a D4, Bronkley?
I do. Ba-ba-ba-ba. 4.
Huge
Oh,
heal.
my gosh.
So
Amazing.
this bunny comes over and with his softest, most
Oh my
lovely
God, they're
hands,
so soft.
just fills you with life vibrating energy as you feel those wounds and your energy and
Your
everything.
pads. So squishy.
As that's happening, Katerina, you want to do something.
I was gonna see if he's still making his way towards it and he's not there yet.
He's looking like he's gonna get there pretty soon.
If I could get there before him.
How would you like to try and do that?
Again, shadow step my way from where I am in a shadow to...
This
Because
is
I can do it in the shadow of a creature.
shadow of a creature, so you would have to appear.
And when I appear, I'm cloaked.
Yeah. I would say that there is no creature at the point in the plaza that you think the dead drop is at. You could appear next to him and his guards, but not at the thing itself.
well.
Like he's like halfway to it. Also, because this is like an open plaza, the shadows like aren't hitting that point. Like it's all bright sunlight there. But you could get close to it, but you couldn't get directly there. You could shadow step to close by and then make a run for it and try and grab it. But you can't go straight there, basically. Anything, or has anybody else got anything they would like to do?
So is it like something that's under the little rock.
Yeah, it's under the pebble.
What Talia said, yeah.
Cobblestone.
It's based on Talia's description, you have a very, very vague idea of where it'd be. You will have to you don't know exactly which stone it is, so even if you get there, you might have to search around. I'd say Malachi is about halfway to it.
All I can say right now is I can just provide a distraction and get bodyguards away from you guys if you're investigating, because they know exactly what I look like now. So I could just do a runner that way, get the bodyguards to chase me, maybe, take them off the scent.
That's true. It's just you two that are able to get close to this person without them recognizing you.
Can I turn into a dog?
Mark of stress, you turn into a dog.
And I want to look like Mochi.
A Japanese Spitz.
Yeah.
A Gildeye Spitz, is it what you called in Altheya?
A fluffy
Little white fluffy dog.
They got those in Gilda? We gotta go.
And I want to just sort of follow behind Malachi, just looking cute and just sort of snuffling around, just like...
Sniffle, snuffle.
I mean, I don't think this is even a stealth because you're just a dog in a marketplace.
Yeah.
It's fine. If anything, you have to be careful not to be too cute, as people are just like, "Oh, hey, buddy,
Mochi is a beacon.
hey," and people there's a little fruit lady on a little fruit stand. She's like, "Hey, do you need some water?" And then
Well, if I'm a dog, I get advantage on locate. Would my doggy nose be able to sniff... Now I've been with Malachi, would I know his smell on a particular rock?
So that depends on if this is something that he's interacted with before.
Oh, yeah, true.
But you are following him, but also that would mean you'd have to move ahead of him to get to this thing that he's moving towards. Because again, you don't know where it is. So you're a dog following Malachi behind. Sniffing away. Anything else from anybody else?
I'm going to nod to everybody. I'm going to run the best I can. Good luck, everybody.
I believe in
Oh
you.
my gosh, okay. Well, if you're doing that, then I'll shadow step so I can get as close as I can.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to step out,
Just into the market plaza. Yep.
make it look like I'm trying to be inconspicuous, but big doing so.
Okay. So yeah, obviously not actually hiding, but looking like you're
Try
trying
and
to hide.
catch the eye of one of the bodyguards.
I mean, they absolutely do. You're a massive orc in armor. You're not making any attempt to stealth. They see you.
I just do this and then start running.
Yeah, they pat Malachi and say it's him, and he's like, "Get after him! Get him! I want to find out who he works for!" And the two guards, they are going to leave the spell sword with Malachi,
Nice.
but the
But I
two
got two
guards
away.
come bombing for you.
Shall I do an agility roll?
Yes, please, to see if you can actually get away
Stay
from
away.
it. I'll put it as their difficulty as well. These guys are pretty elite though, so
Can I spend a hope then to add advantage?
how would you like to do that?
My legs suddenly.
I remember it's your experiences, it's not just to make up a bullshit thing. It's
I
like
don't
you can spend a
have-
hope to add
I
an
don't
experience.
have a thing to give you.
Yeah, then
So
it's
I'm
just an
gonna-
agility roll.
Straight agility. That's with fear, and it's an 11.
So
I'd like to use my ability, please.
Go on.
I have the reassurance ability. Once per rest, after an ally attempts an action roll, but before the consequences, you can offer assistance or words of support. When I do, you can re-roll your dice.
Oh,
So
thank you.
before you do, what is the assistance, or how are you helping?
Whoa,
Because that's going to affect the narrative.
How do I assist you? So how far away are you? Have you literally just broken out into a run?
He is broken out into a run, and these two guys are just about to start chasing after him.
Yeah.
Mainly because this is probably going to draw attention to you, depending on how you do it.
That's true. I think either way, I'm going to be bringing attention to myself. So I will. I'm just going to make a start running towards them.
So you just try and get in their
Also
way.
Just
Yeah.
barking at them.
Like I almost want to just
The classic Tom move.
Try and tackle.
shoulder check them as I go,
Oh my
as I go
God.
right
Okay.
past them.
All right.
Like if it's going to throw off them chasing after those guys, and also they now have two targets to chase after.
Sure. All right. Well, you can re-roll the agility roll.
Excellent. 18 this time. With hope.
18 with hope. Okay,
nice.
great. So you watch as you stumble for a second, and you think, "Oh no, they're going to get me!" Like you've stumbled enough, and then out of nowhere, this blur kind of slams into one of them, tackling him to the ground, and the other one hesitates long enough that you book it and pelt off into the crowd, basically. What happens next?
Oh, in order to, I mean, obviously, I'm spotted. I'd like to throw a card at the ground underneath the person who is still standing, and cast Mystic Tether on them. And they will be restrained if I succeed in this roll. So I have to make a spellcast roll against them. I'd say this is a pretty typical use of this spell.
Arcane Professor.
So as an Arcane Professor of the third circle, I'd like to add my +3 to that.
So spend hope.
Spend hope. Bam. So a spellcast roll against this boy. I rolled an 11 on my thing, so I get my hope back.
And I got a stress off, I think. Right?
And I'm it's a choice of the two.
Yeah.
I'm just going to give myself another hope back, the one I just spent. I got 14 with hope.
So you get another hope as well.
With 17, 20.
So you get another hope as well because you roll with hope.
Yep.
And yeah, you succeed. So these shadowy tendrils kind of wrap around this guard who just can't move. The one that you've tackled to the ground, like, sees you cast this spell. He's like, "Oh, he's with one of them," and he's now aware that you're part of this.
Yeah.
Katerina, I know you wanted to jump in. I also want to make sure that Rhea and that get their chance to do something as well.
Has the dog found the stuff?
No, because the dog was like following behind, but you didn't have like a scent to like try and find this thing. Like, that's what I was saying. So the dog is following Malachi, and nobody knows that it's actually a druid, obviously.
Okay, and he's still moving towards.
So yeah, like these two guards, like they went to chase after Zell. One's been tackled, one's now been magically restrained. They look like the one that is going to turn on Kismet. Zell's run off. Malachi and his other guard, this like mage guard, they look around and they look like they're about to dash for this dread drop. Like they are about to book it for it.
Can I throw up a veil of night? What happened?
Because you said,
Can I just throw up?
No, a veil of night spell, which is a curtain of darkness between 2 points.
Yeah.
So what I want to do is I want to take a run for this area to look for this stone, and I want to block their view of me looking for it.
So
they can't see through it, but I can see them.
Yeah, so you watch as this veil, this curtain of night, splits the market plaza in half. The townspeople start like, "Oh by the signs, what's happening by the guards?" They're freaking out.
So I have to make a spell cast.
You have to make it. Let's see if it happens then.
Could I make this under one of my experiences? Could I do
you tell me.
Cool under pressure and be like, I've handled this
Sounds like it's pressure. Sounds like you're being cool. Sounds good to me. Spend a hope. So you get to add your plus, what is it, +2?
+3.
+3. So finesse plus
I
extra
rolled a 1 and a 2.
Oh dear. With hope or fear?
No, fear.
Oh, even better.
So I guess the spell doesn't
Spell
work.
fails. So what I think happens here, because you roll with fear, I'll take control of this. You go to try and conjure this darkness. And it is magic. Like, you're a rogue who uses magic. But whatever magic you tap into, it resists. And this shadow does not like being commanded. And you almost, like, that darkness pulls back on you, and you are, like stunned for a second as you go to cast a spell, and it hits you back, giving them time, because you roll with fear. I'm going to activate both of them now. They get to this thing and like reach down, and Malachi pulls up a stone and grabs something from inside. The spell sword is going to activate, and he is going to he is going to look at Kismet, and he is going to use a suppressing blast against you. I need you to make an agility reaction roll, Kismet.
Agility reaction.
Yes.
Agility. I have +0 on this. That's fine. Now I am an arcane prophet. No. That is 8, but with hope.
8 is not enough, unfortunately. You don't gain the hope, though. You're going to take 6 points of magic damage. So what threshold does that fall into?
Not this time. I'd like to spend 3 hope to force an adversary within fire range to re-roll an attack. I guess it wasn't an attack, actually. It was a save from me, wasn't it?
It wasn't an attack.
Okay, fine.
So 6.
So, sorry, I take 6.
Damage.
Damage.
So what threshold is that?
My minor damage is
So you
8.
just take 1.
I just take 1.
You just take 1. But because you marked HP from this, I do gain an extra fear.
Okay.
As he like blasts you with magic, like from this wand, like as Malachi gets this thing and he pulls something out, but that's going to be the end of his turn. But I want to check in with Rhiannon. Rhiannon's not had a turn for a while. Anything you want to do on this Silxus?
I was thinking, can I attack the coach driver and steal the coach?
You don't even need to attack him. This is like a hired carriage driver. You basically are like, you can go up to him, like do this. And he's like, take it, and he just jumps off. Yeah, you absolutely can. The courtesan and the weasel guy, the clerk, are still inside, and they're like, what's going on? And they look out as are you getting on the carriage and like,
I'm going to drive it away, so leaving him stranded.
yeah, they're just like, help, we're being kidnapped. As you go flying off, I guess. Yeah.
I'm going to try and drive. Can I try and drive it to an area that, so I can hide it somewhere?
Sorry, I'm going to use the clerk's scapegoat action to spend a fear and target a PC. The courtier convinces a crowd or prominent individual that the target is the cause of their current conflict or misfortune. We're being kidnapped! We're being arrested! Guards! As you see, like, some guards running into the scene, having heard this commotion, like, and they begin, like, chasing after you as you're like, go! As this carriage goes sailing down the street, completely diverting these guards. You probably would have come in and helped potentially, but now I'm now going to chase after you guys. But yeah, you do that. You don't even need to make a roll for it. Anybody else want to jump in? I know, Bryony, you had a thing.
I want to, as little doggo, just jump forward when he's taking the thing out and just get it in my mouth.
Okay.
She wants to intercept.
Intercept it. So I think that this would be
I think he's got a little snacky in there.
Ooh, I think this is finesse. Because it's almost like pickpocketing. If anybody would like to do anything, don't forget, you can jump in and spend hope to like help people and stuff like that.
Can I use my troublemaker ability to assist?
You can't use it to assist, but you can use it to do the effect of it.
It would maybe, like, I don't know.
Yeah, or you can just spend a hope to give her advantage as well. Like, that's anybody can do that.
I'll do that.
Okay, great. So, Bryony, you get an extra D6 to this.
Oh, I did roll.
And we'll talk about what this help looks like.
With fear.
Doesn't matter.
21, but with fear.
21 with fear, okay. What does this help look like from Katerina? So this is going to succeed, but with fear, so there's going to be a complication.
Tell me I'm a good girl.
You always have to do this.
That's your motivation when you're a dog.
Okay.
I think she's just going to go, oi, Malachi!
And he like looks over.
And then I'm going to
It's
run
enough
away.
of a distraction where
I'm gonna
like
run away.
he's like,
I
what?
swear at him,
And
then I'm
then
going
run
to
away.
sprint.
And that's enough where this dog just like bites his. He's like, you mangy mutt, and like throws you away. I'm gonna say mark a stress for the fear complication as he like slaps you away basically.
I'm picturing what she gets.
But I'd say like it isn't until you're like off him that he realizes what you've done and realizes you've got this
And I'm
thing.
already just.
So you're just gonna start running basically.
Ooh,
Okay.
can I beckon you this way towards me?
Yeah?
Sorry, over here.
Yeah. So you run over to Zell. Okay.
Who's a good girl?
It's me! It's me! And the thing is that she can speak when she's in this form, so she's just going, me! I'm a good girl!
So you run over.
The thing falls out my mouth.
Zell. I'm going to interrupt and spend another fear to clear a condition from the guard. So I'm going to remove your restrained condition.
Oh, it's okay. It's like that. I
As
see.
like you see that mage guy, he mutters like an incantation, like Orivar Skethkamen, blah, and you watch as the spell breaks around this other guard. They are now free, but I'm out of fear, so I can't do anything right now.
You know when I called Hester
Yeah.
a good girl,
Yeah.
I would consider that my ability a soldier's bond. Once per long rest, when you compliment someone or ask them about something they're good at, you can both gain 3 hope.
I mean, you complimented her, so yeah, this is a soldier's bond.
Come on. Well done.
That's pretty great.
Yeah. I mean, you guys, what do you guys do at this point? So the carriage is driving
gone.
off. Malachi is gonna, right now he's like stunned at what's happening. The guards are freed, but they're still in status of confusion. What do you guys do?
Can I try and find us a safe place to hide? Can I try and sprint somewhere, or I don't know, use my knowledge?
This would be knowledge, It'd be a knowledge roll.
Yeah.
With advantage because you're Slyborn. I'd say for Kismet there is the immediate problem of he has 2 guards next to him.
Yeah, I think.
Would this count as my Phantom Thief of Burnbright? Knowing
You could spend a hope to use it, yeah. Absolutely. Sure. I think you can apply that experience.
Okay, so it's with fear, but
Currency.
Or remember, if you roll with fear, I get to activate as well.
22.
22. So you immediately know of a safe house. If you can get everyone there, you can lay low and, you basically hide out, basically. But you rolled with fear. So I am going to have, the doggo is running over to Zell, but Malachi is still active. I'm going to, as part of his activation, I'm going to use the best muscle money can buy action. Once per scene, mark a stress to summon 1d4 plus 1 minions. Oh. So I'm going to have him bring in some backup. And that's going to be 4 minions.
Oh, okay.
So he blows a whistle. He's like, shh. He whistles out and he's like, get that dog. As you see some more of these kind of leather, they kind of peel out of the crowds, or maybe one of the beggars on the street kind of jumps up and pulls out a blade. As these guys are going to basically, activate, and I'm going to spend my fear to activate them as they're going to try and rush the dog, basically.
No. You don't have to be a dog.
She does for now. Group attack action, choose a target, spotlight all the all the bandits within close range. They move into melee range and make 1 shared attack. Huh. That is going to be 13 to hit.
Yeah.
Well, would these guys count as the same group as Malachi's group?
Yes.
Because when I meet them again, I get +1 evasion, +2 evasion as a dog, so I am 13 evasion now.
So, yeah, sounds so. Meets it, beats it. So I still hit you, unfortunately.
Gosh damn it!
So very cool, but still hit you.
Not this time. I want to spend 3 hope to force an adversary within far range to re-roll an attack.
Alrighty.
That's my special, actual,
3.
full-on.
6.
Nice!
So what does this look like? How does Kismet save the day, basically, here? These, thugs look like they're about to kick the shit out of this dog. What do you do? And it can be, if you want to describe, because you're a wizard, you can basically describe, actions as, minor spells as well. If you want to be I create, a bunch of ice and they slip all over the floor. That's, you can do that, right?
Yeah.
You can be creative with it.
Well, I did have a plan on how to distance the enemies from me. Could I almost jump in front or in between dog and guards, and again use that power push spell?
You can't use a different spell. You've already used the ability. This is something that isn't a specific ability. This is just what are you doing to help? What does this look like, basically? You can't use another ability.
I will try to call the dog to run towards me, and hopefully somewhere behind me there is a better escape route than main road.
Yeah, so you just find a different point and you're turn now, as maybe comically a bunch of these revelers are carrying something in, and it just times it right where they slam into giant glass pane. Boom, 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 as the dog whips around and runs past it, as these minions fail to get to poor Hester.
Yeah.
Great, perfect. So they completely fail. So Hester, you run over to Zell. I'd say the everybody but Kismet at this point can absolutely flee the scene.
Okay.
Okay. I'd like to imagine that during this entire thing, especially after getting hit by the...
I just had a vision of him yeeting himself into a wall trying to escape.
Well, also imagine in the sort of the narrative and like the cinematics of this. At this point, like you've probably pulled your blade and you're like fighting these guys.
Oh yeah,
but
no, I
they're
was
just
going to say
it's like
I've
ping ping, like
pulled my wand and I'm
them.
throwing like not any damaging shots as such, but like blasts to hit nearby, almost as a suppression.
And
It's
like, this enemy mage is like
projectiles are
combating.
flying.
Like you're
yeah.
flying, he's like firing stuff back. Like the guards are trying to hit you. You've
Just-
got your,
just cover
your
fire.
rapier.
Yeah, covering fire,
fire.
like there's an active combat going on. None of us are actually making any impact on each other. But if everyone else, have they fled the scene? Because I almost want to continuously slow walk back, but continue to suppress these people from getting to the rest of the group.
Yeah, they are fleet. I mean, Silkis is long gone on the
She's
fucking
gone.
stolen carriage.
She's gone.
Silkis is long gone. But yeah, you can basically provide like a thing. But what are you going to do to do that? What's the role here? What's the action that you're taking?
Well, I mean, I could literally just use my wand, I suppose. And if I was to, because I could just, provided I don't roll fear, I could just keep taking turns, right? Could I not just?
Yeah. If
Use
you want
my
to just
wand?
attack, like, but if you use your wand, that is going to be an attack against them.
Okay.
If you want to do something else, it's either going to be a spell card power or a creative
As an
skill.
arcane professor of the Third Circle, I imagine wand dueling is quite a common thing to do. So I would like to use that experience by using my fate. And let's just throw a wayward One-Shot at the spell sword.
Spell blade, yeah.
And try and stop them from shooting at me. So this +3 plus knowledge, I've got +6 on this. 7 and 8 with fear. 7 and 8, so 15, 16, 21.
21 hits.
When I roll with fear, I want to mark 2 stress to roll with hope instead because I am an Infernus, a fearless Infernus tiefling. I'm going to mark 2 stress and I roll with hope instead.
Oh, very good. So you gain a hope.
I gain a hope.
Take that back.
And that is
And then roll your damage.
That is 20. I think it was like 21 to hit
Yeah, it was
damage.
21 you said.
21's going to hit, yeah.
2d6 plus 1. That is 5.
5 points is a minus, so he's going to mark 1 HP.
I rolled with hope. So combat is still, I suppose, in our team's favour. I don't know if anyone else wants to jump in.
We gone.
Well, you don't. I was just saying that you have the opportunity. You've definitely run away.
Yeah.
You've definitely gone at this point.
I found us a safe place.
These two can jump
And
in.
if not,
you really
I'm just
wanted
gonna keep taking shots, and for each of them, just step back further and further and further to try and increase my distance from them.
Just
so I
keep in
have it
mind,
clear.
the second you roll with fear, these guys are going to attack you.
I know.
There's only so much stress you can use.
I'll give the two others that are still sort of vaguely within the region.
But also, if you just want to let Tom do it, you absolutely can.
Can I drop whatever I had in my mouth with Zell and transform into a moose and run at the guys?
So you mark a stress and send into a moose,
Bridie's been waiting to turn into a moose all day.
and then you want to charge in.
I just
so you
run
can move
past
close
Kismet
range, and you can
just
make an attack.
Moose it.
You are now in the combat.
Does
You've
kind
been
of go
moosed.
against the we want to increase distance.
Yeah, but my plan is moose in, you get on my back, moose out.
Bryony, don't moose it up.
I hate the fact that you laugh that much at that. Make your attack, moose.
Okay, so it's just a straightforward these first, isn't it?
Well, so what does the moose give you?
The word moose gives me +1 strength,
Okay. And then what's its attack type?
melee strength D10 +4.
So you're going to use your strength. So with the +1, what does your strength become?
1.
Right? So you get 2d12s plus 1. Unless you can apply an experience or something like that, which I don't know if you can.
Well, if
I'm
I
a moose.
spend a hope, I've got companion creature because I'm bonded with my friends. So
I love that,
I
sure.
want to help
Sure. I love
save
that.
Kismet. So then do I get a D6?
No, so you
you
add the
add.
bonus of the experience.
You had the number.
Oh, 2. So I have
So 3 plus 3.
14. Can you maths? 15.
And who would you like to attack? He has these 2 elite guards, and there's this mage guard. And also the 4 minions now as well.
I
And
guess.
Malachi, technically.
Who's closest?
The
Minions.
guards and the mage. They're all 3 are basically on Kismet.
I'll go for whoever the closest is.
I will roll a dice to decide. I've asked you multiple times. That will be the spell blade.
Okay. I go for the Spellblade.
Okay, and that was a 15.
Yes.
That is a hit.
And then...
So now you roll the damage. So what is it normally? 1d10 plus something?
Plus 4.
So it'd be 2d10 plus 4 because you're tier 2.
The moose runs. It's terrifying.
I know.
Oh, that's not great. 8.
8 points is their major threshold, so that's 2 hit points. They are, unfortunately, still up. This guy's a bit more of a sturdy fighter than those snipers. So you moose in. He manages to conjure a shield with his wand that absorbs some of the impact, but is knocked off kilter. And you rolled with hope. Do you remember?
No, that was with fear.
Excellent.
I did moose it up.
You did moose it up.
In that case, I am going to have one of these elite soldiers go for the Kismet.
Hey, what up?
Spear. With their... I'm going to mark a stress to use their reinforce action.
Okay.
Move into range, melee range of an ally. I'll say the Spellblade. Make a standard attack against a target within very close range, which is going to be Kismet.
This guy.
On a success, deal damage, and my ally can clear stress. That is going to be a 17 to hit you, Kismet.
Ooh, yeah, no, that does it.
Excellent.
That does it. That goes right through.
That goes right on through, it does.
Straight to the brain.
That is only going to be 9 points of damage, though. So what threshold does that hit?
So my minor damage is 8. So
that would be in your major, unless
Could
you'd
I-
like to spend armor to reduce it.
I'll just spend... So if I spend 2 armor...
You
that
can
would-
only spend 1. Only Trot can spend 2.
So if I spend 1, that puts me to 8, so it still doesn't do it?
So it does-
What's your armor value?
3.
So it would reduce every time you spend an armor slot, it reduces it by 3.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, so you can spend an armor slot and it would go down to a minus. So
Spend
you'd
it
only
to,
mark
yeah,
1 HP.
go down to the minor, yeah.
Yeah, so you take 1 HP basically as this elite soldier brings his spear and kind of cuts.
And you gain a fear because I took damage?
No.
Oh, I thought you said
It's
when you mark HP.
No. That was only the Spellblade. It has a special ability.
Oh,
But
okay.
not all enemies can do that.
Right, I see.
With that, we're over a bit of time here. What I'm going to say is, this fight has clearly caught attention, right? People have gone running screaming. A moose has now just charged in. A carriage has been stolen. The guards have been pulled over. But this is probably big enough. And in the Mist River district, the sound of more guards arriving arrives. Malachi and his team, as soon as Malachi sees the green livery of the Mist River District Guards, him and his team, he's just book it, we gotta get out of here, I've gotta get to the Opera House. And he legs it, basically. He's gonna flee and end the scene. The guards come in and begin securing the scene immediately, and they're led by a very tall, very muscular, Wild Heart bunny woman, but she's the more human kind of bunny. So she has the bunny ears, she has long brown hair, she looks quite tough, kind of has a bit of a stern look on her, and you hear a couple of the guards Captain Fear, we've secured the area, apparently there's still a carriage on the loose, some of the local guards are chasing after it, there's been a kidnapping, and there's this fight. And she would just turn around and be right, secure the area, I want witnesses. Who's involved? These two, the moose? Subdue that moose. And they're going to basically move to kind of thing. You have an opportunity, I'll let you guys book it if you want
So
to.
the spell sword and the 2 guards, they've already gone.
I'm going to say that they Malachi just told them to flee, and they're going to try and disengage.
So there is
as
a
these
period of
guards are
time
arriving.
in which I don't have any adversaries within melee range.
No.
Sweet, I'm arcane dooring out of here.
Okay, you leave the moose.
I think Moose will find a decent
Moose will find a
to
way.
get out.
So you vanish and bamf away into
Yep.
an alleyway and start scarpering off, basically. What does Moose do? As these guards start arriving on the scene. Moose!
Turn back into a raven. Straight up.
It's a druid! And so, but these guys they know what a druid is, the Mist River, some sort of druid. They note this raven, but you manage to fly, dip down into alleyway, turn back in. You guys can all escape. With that, we are going to bring this Daggerheart one-shot to a
Can I request one thing before we end?
Sure.
Can we read the thing or
Yes,
the thing?
yes, absolutely can. Well, it's frustrating because when you open it up, it is clearly a coded missive, but you're
I'm good.
You're a thief. You know this kind of thing. It takes you a little bit of time, and maybe most of the rest of the afternoon in your little safe house, which would count as a downtime rest, and we can go over the rules for that to show everyone at home as well. But during that downtime, one of your downtime actions is going to basically be decoding this message, Katarina. And you would find out that this message reads, the client has arranged for the lapidarian to demonstrate their goods at the meeting before you complete the purchase. Adjust your ring to emerald before the meeting. We've been told this will offer sufficient protection. So it seems to be a warning that whatever weapon is being bought in this arms deal trade, a demonstration of it will be made, and it may be quite deadly to those.
They have some protection from it too.
Form of their ring.
Interesting.
So you decode that. Now, downtime in Daggerheart, like you can take a long rest and a short rest. During a short rest, which is an hour or a couple of hours, you get to do 2 actions. One, you can basically patch yourself or an ally up. You can repair your armor. You can try and clear your stress. Or you can do something called prepare, which is you gain a hope. But if you prepare with another, if you and another player both choose to prepare, you gain 2 hope. Which is nice. Also, if you tend to wounds, like I said, you can tend to somebody else's wounds. So what would everyone like to do for their downtime? Katarina, you're going to use 1 to decode this message, so you get 1.
I was gonna clear stress.
Okay, so roll a d4 plus 2.
4.
So you get 6, so you clear 6 stress.
I clear all my stress.
I too would like to clear stress.
All right, d4 plus 2.
Oh, 3.
I too am very stressed.
Well, everybody but Katarina gets 2 downtime actions, so.
Okay.
So
But
let's
I
do
also
yours.
rolled just a 1, so 3.
3 cleared stress.
Clear stress, yeah.
Zell.
Zell's going to a spa and is going to soak and de-stress.
Okay. d4 plus 2.
6.
6 clear, 6 stress.
I can handle 1. I'm very chill.
Silkis.
I would also like to clear stress.
All right.
1
Plus 2, so 3.
3. That's all my stress gone.
Nice. So those of you who still have a downtime action, you still have. So you can't choose clear stress again, obviously. Or you may, but then I gain 1d4 fear if you choose to do it again. So you can repair armor, you can prepare, or you can tend to wounds.
Oh, yeah. Repair armor, please.
All right. So d4 plus 2 again.
6.
You can also use it on other people as well. So, like, if somebody still needs, like, if somebody needs more health, you can do, rather than them doing 2 heals, they can do 1 and then you can do 1 on them. So, it helps out.
Okay.
Anybody else for downtime action? So, forget, prepare is also pretty good because it gives you a hope. Or, if you prepare with another 1 or more members of your party, you may each take 2 hope.
Oh,
I will prepare.
Prepare?
Prepare? Yeah. All right. So, the 2 of you both gain 2 hope.
Ooh.
If you want to help each other out.
very nice, very nice.
What's Kismet doing?
So I've got the Mending Touch spell, which does, probably doesn't take a full sort of downtime action to do, but it says it takes a few minutes.
Yeah, so it's not a full downtime action. No.
But I did take a couple of hits there, so I will spend 2 hope to clear a hit point on myself using that spell.
Would you not want to just do 10 to wounds to restore hit points to yourself?
You're right.
Downtime action.
That makes more sense, yeah. I'll do that.
D4 plus 2.
D4 plus 2. Yeah, no, that's way easier. I have 3.
3 hit points. So that skill is meant to use when you can't take a full rest, right?
Yeah.
Like that's like in between, like we've got to go, but you need healing. I'm going to patch you up, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's it. So that's downtime. This would be the point where and maybe we'll do a part 2 to this because it would be great to see how this concludes.
Yeah.
Where you go and intercept this arms deal with a planar arms dealer, this mysterious figure called the Lapidarian, and who knows what shenanigans may be involved. Malachi got away, but did not receive the coded message, and is aware of some of your faces. So shenanigans will need to be taking place.
He's not going to flick it to green. He's done for.
It's done for.
We win.
With that is going to be it for our Daggerheart One-Shot. Thank you all so much for joining us. We hope you enjoyed it. We will try and see if we can do part 2 of this, because I would very much like to see the story ended, because I wrote a lot for it. And also, I enjoy playing Daggerheart. It's fun to show off the system. So we will see you next time. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
See you next time. Bye.
and then outro. Right, I forgot to do this last time we had Bryony join us for something. Bryony, would you like to tell people where they can maybe see you playing video games?
You can find me at twitch.tv/BrainyK. And
you play games.
I play games and pet bunnies.
Wholesome games, and you do have 2 very cute pet bunnies as well.
Yeah.
So Bryony thankfully joined us for this lovely one-shot, as we are Black and Kim. I do have some sad news though, and that this is not live. Sorry, everybody. I think most of you probably would have picked up on that.
Yeah.
But
Are you all pre-recorded? I'm doing this live.
But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I think this was really fun too. We like a few of us have been really keen to do Daggerheart on the channel since it came out, and this was just a really good opportunity to do it. It's nice to do something in Altheya, make something a little canon, and
we actually played Daggerheart offline with Bryony, didn't we?
Yeah, we did a little test game, but it was nice to do it as like an official thing. And just before we go, I know we're overrunning a little bit on time, but what do you guys think? Like, I'd love to.
I really like this stuff.
You like the system? You liked it?
I think I like all of the different abilities.
It's nice.
Well, especially for the non-traditional spellcaster roles, like your rogues and your fighters and things like that. Having like more stuff to do is always fun. I mean, Bryony, you seem to get a lot out of being a druid.
I every time we leveled up, I was just putting it into more stress slots, so I could be more
things.
Animals.
Right, yeah.
How much stress do you have at the end?
I think I had used up 5.
Oh, wow.
So if you'd got hit by any sort of stress-inflicting ability, probably would have been quite bad.
But I got to be a moose, so it works out.
You do have 8 stress max.
Yeah.
Tons.
Transform.
Now, I will say, like, I had planned actual proper full-on combats, and we never got to them, right? So there was, like, the fights that you guys had were, like, very inconsequential. Like, there was, like, 2 level 1 minions, basically, and then, like, that little scrap at the end was not really a full thing.
I feel like we got to show off loads of opportunities, loads of abilities.
But that's the thing, is like even in those like incidental kind of like the snipers shooting down at you, we got to see a bunch of stuff happening, and I think it flows quite well. I think the thing for me is it's hard to get used to the no set initiative thing, but it's something that as a practice group, I think you'd get better at being like, oh, can I jump in and do a thing? Can I do that?
But I also like that it doesn't feel pressured. I feel like
you can just sit back and let.
Also, like in a regular initiative, I feel like you're kind of sat there knowing your turn's coming up, stressing like, oh my god, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, I've got to do this. But like knowing that you can just jump in, like gives you time to really think about your moves and like be creative with it. And also like having a lot of abilities as well on hand, but it doesn't feel cluttered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It feels just like really nicely organised.
Yeah, I think having the cards set.
Yeah, the cards really help.
So one thing that we didn't get into because we're not high enough level is you can only have a hand of 5 cards, and then all of your other cards, like higher level ones or lower level ones, you can swap them out into something called your vault. And normally during downtime, you can swap a card out, like one free card out of your vault for free. But if you're in combat or if you're in a stressful situation, you can pay stress to swap cards in and out as well. So if you need a power from like your bank, you can pull that out and swap it for another one in a dire situation. But that's obviously as you get leveled up and you see more stuff as you level up.
Yeah. Well, as a wizard, I've got a lot of domain cards.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing I do like about the domain cards is like this one card is a level 2 card. Even the level 1s have the same thing. This is the Book of Vargras, which has 3 spells on it.
Yeah.
So just one
like all
card has
utility kind of things.
spells. So even though I've got 5 cards, I've actually got loads and loads of different spells, and they don't cost a spell slot to use or anything like that.
It feels very wizardy, doesn't it?
It's
Like
very free use. Like I could just ice spike if I wanted to.
yeah, and it's like on the wizard stuff especially, it's like you normally get 1 attack spell and then like 2 utility spells. So, but they'll be like niche, like it's like like how often are you going to levitate an object or a person? But actually, when it comes up, it's great to have that and not have to worry about preparing it or spell slots. You can just be like, cool, I can do a cool thing. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's pretty rad. What do you think, Trot?
Love it.
Yep.
Big fan.
Yep.
More.
Yeah, I really the hope and fear stuff works really
fun,
well.
yeah.
Yes,
I mean,
big fan of the hope.
it was very different to our test game. In our test game, a lot of rolls with fear, not a lot of rolls with hope in our test game. Whereas in this, Bryony was like max hope for a while. You just sat there on 6 hope, like, man.
Yeah, well, it's because it was all happening whilst being a spider, so I was like, I can't actually use anything that uses hope at the moment.
I'm a spider. What
Just
do
a
I
really
do?
hopeful little guy.
And I think we talked about it earlier, like the experience thing of like you just get to write these things that help
that's
define
fun.
your your character, and like you can just be as creative as you want. And
Yeah, I was surprised how complete my character was just from going through
I
the steps.
really
of the
like
character.
Kismet. Like, I actually really
Very
like
cool.
him as
I
a
do
character.
like Kismet, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, the system as well, I need to play more. I need to play
Yeah,
more of
yeah.
it to fully understand it.
More
Like,
please.
there's definitely a big adjustment from 5e.
Yes,
the way
of course.
to take place and all of these things that I just need
Yeah.
to. I mean, I want to play more.
Yeah.
But it is a very like.
So one thing that didn't come up is there is rules for tag team attacks in this. So you can spend 3 hope. Each player chooses 1 time per session to spend 3 hope and initiate a tag team roll with another PC. When you do, work with your chosen partner to describe how you combine your actions in a unique and exciting way. You both make separate action rolls, but before resolving the roll's outcome, choose one of the rolls to apply for both of your results. On a roll with hope, all PCs involved gain a hope. On a roll with fear, the GM gains a fear for each PC involved. If you tag team on an attack roll and succeed, you both roll damage, then add it together to determine the damage
That's
dealt.
sick.
So it's like a full combo attack. Like this is, Thor powering up Tony Stark or whatever in the Avengers. So you can do some proper
That's awesome.
Wolverine getting the fastball special. It's like proper tag team stuff.
Yeah.
And like when you fight some of the really powerful like solo enemies and bruisers, like you need to do stuff like that because their like damage thresholds are so high and they've got so many HP that actually it's pretty tough and they do a lot of damage when they hit you back. So very,
Neat.
very cool.
Funky.
Well
I'm
done.
happy to
Thank
play
you
more.
very much. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think let's look at trying to at least finish off this mission. I think in a part 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it from us. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you all next time.
Nice.
Bye-bye.
See ya. Bye.